the time is. Good evening, my name is Millie Payne and welcome to Solent Soccer Night. I'll be guiding you through the show this evening and we'll be bringing you score updates from the Champions League all the way down to the National League from 7:45, and we'll have all the build-up and team news that you need before all the games kick off. We've got a few live reporters up and down the country as well to give you live updates as they happen throughout the games. I've also got a team of gents on our panel tonight, guiding you through the biggest matches which all have 8 o'clock kickoffs. I'll introduce you to them, shall I? Starting off with our Champions League pundits. Closest to me, we've got someone who supposedly thinks he's got a better man bun than Darwin Núñez. Keeping us up to date on Red Bull Leipzig against Real Madrid, we've got Freddie Dorman. Next up, we've got Solent University's favourite ginger, and for some reason looks like he should be at a wedding reception rather than in a TV studio reporting against Manchester City. Against Copenhagen, it's Nathan Rawlings. And in charge of this evening's hottest championship fixtures, we've got Chippenham Town's #1 fan, Jamie Oleshinsky. We'll have to settle for Bristol City against Southampton instead tonight. And last but not least, we've got the pint-sized Welshman who really does love himself, Ollie Price, who's looking after West Brom against Cardiff. First of all, guys, I just wanted to say Happy Pancake Day.
Happy Pancake
Happy
Day.
Day.
Has anyone had pancakes yet? I have.
Not yet, I think that's after show for me.
Yeah.
No one's had them yet?
Nope.
After the show.
Okay, but no, start off, serious chat. Pancake topping of choice.
Oh,
We'll go left to right.
you're going to hate me for this. I'm very boring. Just a lemon and sugar. I know it's boring, but it works. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Fine, my dad does love a bit of lemon sugar.
I agree. I'm a lemon and sugar man myself.
Oh my God, Ollie, you're
It's gotta
shaking
be.
your head.
You've
Ollie,
got to
you're
add some
shaking your head.
Nutella, it's got to be.
Yes.
Nutella is also, my top of choice, definitely.
There's
Okay.
a formula. There's Nutella,
Yeah.
fold, Nutella, fold,
Yeah.
and then it's just like one big roll.
No fruit, no nutrition, no nothing.
No, it's pancake day.
No, but you don't have a little bit of chocolate and strawberries on it.
No,
That's what I had this morning. No, but American pancakes or crepes?
Crepes.
Crepes.
I think I'm on my own here. Right, shall we get to the football then? To start off with, we're going to go through the team news of the Champions League. Freddie, what have you got for us?
So I'm watching RB Leipzig tonight host Real Madrid. Hopefully it's going to be a good game. But RB Leipzig have made just one change, and it's Simikan in for Campbell. So that means the lineup, we think it's a 4-2-2. So it'd be Golaski in goal, a back four of Henriks, Klosterman, Orban and Rahm. Orban, this is his first Champions League start. He's been injured all season. The two holding midfielders, Schager and Simikan. And then in front of them, it's Simmons, Olmo, and up top, it's Sesko and Openda. So two really good attackers up there. And for Real Madrid, it's just two changes. Jude Bellingham, he's not going to be playing. He got injured in their last game against Girona, so he's out.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Along with Vasquez. So they line up, I think it's a 4-2-2, so it's very English, you could say, from Real Madrid. So it's Andre Lunin in goal, Carvajal, Tchouaméni, Nacho and Ferland Mendy, Valverde, Cruz and Camavinga in midfield, and in attack they've got Rodrigo, Brahim Diaz, who's in for Bellingham, and their star man, probably now Vinicius Jr.
Amazing. Well, shall we move on to Copenhagen against Manchester City? Nathan, any updates on the Copenhagen team yet?
Yes, we do now have a full lineup for Copenhagen. That lineup for the home side reads Grabara in goal. You've got Dix, Vavro and Cleeson. You've got Matson, Goncalves, the Portuguese midfielder, who popped up with a big goal against Manchester United in the group stages. You've got former Saints player Elianusi in the midfield, as well as Yellert and former Nottingham Forest defender Scott McKenna. And to round it off, you've got Ashuri and Rasmus Falk. For the away side, Manchester City, then, they make 4 changes for the side that beat Everton 2-0 on the weekend.
Does Haaland start?
Haaland does start, so all importantly, the man of the moment.
We'll have lots of goals to talk about then.
Yeah, hopefully. Carl Walker captains the side. He comes in for Akanji. Then the rest of the defence, you've got Stones, Diaz and Ake. In midfield, you've got Rodri, you've got De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva, who start this game. They came on as a sub against Everton and really changed the game. You've got Foden, who's got a hat-trick against Brentford a few weeks ago. Grealish comes in, and of course, the Norwegian Haaland starts up front.
Amazing. Well, again, like I said, should be a goal-filled game,
We
hopefully.
hope so.
Copenhagen against Man City. And let's move on down to the Championship now. We'll start with Ollie Price and West Brom against Cardiff. What are the teams looking like?
So we've finally got the teams in. West Brom starting with Palmer, Furlong, Kipre, Peters, Townsend, who captains the side, Yokosulu, Mawat, Swift, Johnson, Thomas Asante and Fellows. And that's quite a strong side.
Yeah, no, it does sound it.
This could be a turning point in the playoff race. Because,
Do you think? Why's that?
Because if Cardiff win tonight, I feel like they could finally get going again and maybe even push just to make playoffs. And if West Brom lose, they haven't been on great form recently.
No, it's been a bit rocky.
They could maybe fall out of the playoff fight. I've also got the Cardiff news here. You've got Horvath, NG, Gutas, Phillips, Collins, Wintle, who's captain on the side, Turnbull, Ruben Colwell, Mitetti, Wilson, Esbrand, and Diedu, sorry. But Ramsey is on the bench, not fit enough to start. He's definitely going to be key tonight. He's definitely a really important player for Cardiff, coming back to his boyhood club. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting game.
Definitely. And then our final panel game of the evening, we've got Bristol City against Southampton. Jamie Olszynski. What's going to happen? What's the teams looking like?
Well, what's going to happen? I don't think Saints are going to lose. 25 games unbeaten. They have had to make 4 changes, however. Flynn Downs, the notable omission, he picked up an injury against Huddersfield, so that's one of 4 Saints changes.
Big loss for them, big loss.
Of course, but despite the raft of changes, they're still sticking with the 4-3-3 they've got. Bazunu in goal, back 4 with Walker Peters, Harwood Bellis, Bednarek and Manning. The midfield 3 again of Smallbone, Charles and Rothwell. And the front 3 of Dozy, Brooks and Adam Armstrong. With Bristol City, they're basically doing the same thing. 4 changes for 4-3-3. O'Leary in goal, back 4 of Tanner, Viner, Dickey and Roberts.
Yeah.
3 of James, Williams and a front 3 of Bell, Conway and Mametti. So again, 2 strong teams. A Tuesday night changes required, but again, 2 strong teams from both sets of managers.
Well, let's stick with a bit of championship, and shall we? Let's talk a bit about Southampton. You know, 25 games unbeaten. It's really not looking like that's going to come to an end anytime soon. Do you think Bristol City even have a chance of ending that run tonight?
I just don't think so. I mean, they've not won at home this calendar year. That's 3 games on the spin. They've had their cup run where they lost to Nottingham Forest. They beat a Premiership side at home, but that form just isn't really translating into the league. And they lost at home to Leeds. I know Leeds are in the promotion run, but I just think you should be beating a team. Bristol City languishing thoroughly mid-table in every single statistic, expected goals, shots, possession. But Bristol City's thoroughly stuck in the mid-table as Saints. We know all about their exploits, one of the best passing teams in the league, one of the best scoring teams in the league. Perhaps a bit leaky in defence from time to time. They've only got the 7th best defensive record in the league, so. But when you've got the quality back there of Harwood Bellis, Walker Peters and Bazunu in goal, you know it's going to be a tough night for those Bristol City forwards.
Definitely. 100%. And Ollie as well. Like you said, you're covering West Brom Cardiff. West Brom, like you said, going through a bit of a rocky patch of form at the moment. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so they definitely, the last couple of games, the last 5 games, they've won 2, drew 1, lost 2. And as a team, they should be doing better than that, I feel. With the squad they have, I think it's important to be keeping up with teams like Ipswich, Leeds, Southampton, and they're just not doing that. They're not performing how they should be.
No, they're really it seemed like at the beginning of the season they were sort of really pushing for those promotion places. They were sort of flying earlier on in the season, and now they sort of hit a bit of a rocky patch and started falling a bit flat.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely agree with that. They need to sort stuff out. I think defensively they've been a bit very poor, and going forward they've been okay. But obviously, the more goals the merrier, I guess. So they just need to fix some leaky defence, and I think they'll be back on track.
Definitely. We're going to cross over now to one of our live reporters. He's at Stevenage for Stevenage against Bristol Rovers, Nathan Potter. Nathan, how's it looking over there?
It's a wet and cold one here. Stevenage make 4 changes to the side that drew 2-2 at Port Vale, with Dan Butler, Dan Sweeney, Jordan Roberts, Caden Hemmings all coming in. James Wilding, Nestor Guinness-Walker, Verdane Oliver all missing out, with Nathan Thomas not in the matchday squads. Bristol Rovers, Chris Martin returns from his suspension. Giovanni Brown makes the starting 11. Tristan Kramer and Jack Hunt returning from injury. Josh Grant, John Marquis moves to the bench. And no George Friend or Brandon Aguilera in the squad.
Oh, perfect, Nathan. Thank you very much for that team update. We'll come back to you soon, just have a little preview about the game. Now, We're gonna talk back to Jamie now for Southampton. A bit more Southampton chat. We had a few mic issues earlier on. We couldn't quite hear exactly what he was saying. So, what were you saying about that 25 unbeaten run earlier?
Well, it just doesn't look like it's going to come to an end, does it, Millie? We know how good they are going forward. Again, a bit leaky in the defence. They've got just the seventh best defensive record in the league. They're good at keeping the ball, but they're not so great at keeping the ball out of their net. You look at Saturday as a prime example of that. Yes, they scored
Jamie,
5.
I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to cut you off again. We've got a special guest for some reason with Jamie Somerville up in Burton. We know the game's been called off, but due to waterlogged
each
pitch,
game
and he's
we
got a
give
guest with him
respect
at
to
the
every single
moment.
opponent and prepare for it differently.
Perfect. And back-to-back postponements on weekdays, is that starting to get frustrating, or is it just the northern weather?
I don't get frustrated. I use everything that happens and I turn it into positives and make sure my group are prepared to go and fight for Burton Albion Football Club.
Thank you so much, Martin.
No problem.
So we just heard a little bit from Martin Patterson there with Jamie Somerville. That game's been called off. Burton Albion against Carlisle. You know, Burton Albion, the sort of solidly low middle of the table League One team against dead bottom of League One. So really poor that Carlisle can't pick up any points this evening, but we should be able to, you know, see what comes up in the coming weeks and watch this space, and we'll keep you up to date with that. Let's talk a bit of Champions League. Actually, no, I lie. We're going to go back to Jamie. Poor Jamie hasn't had a chance to get his words in at the moment. Jamie, Russell Martin, what has he done for Southampton since he's been at the club?
Oh, he's pulled them out of the rut they were in. You saw last season when they were stuck at the foot of the Premier League table. It looked like it was going to be one of those seasons where Southampton fall out of the Premier League and take a couple of years to get back into it. But bringing in Russell Martin was a really smart appointment. And he's come in, imposed his football on the football club, brought the players in. You could maybe argue that a little bit too much reliance on the lone players. You see players like Downs, like Harwood Bellis, the absolute spine of the squad at the minute.
Yeah.
They'll be leaving at the end of the season. How do you rebuild from that? But what he's doing this season, I mean, second in the table, one of the best scoring records, one of the best defensive records, not albeit the best, but he's taken them places, and I think most importantly, he's taking them back to the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So we'll talk Championship a bit more in a minute. We're going to move on to the return of the Champions League tonight now. Freddie Dorman and Nathan Rawlings with us on the panel this evening. Freddie, how's it going to turn out for Real Madrid tonight? No Jude Bellingham. How do you think that's going to impact the game?
Yeah, that's going to impact it a lot, isn't it? He's ridiculously important to that squad. I think he's got 20 goals for them this season. He's meant to be a midfielder, but he's obviously been playing a bit further up, sort of second striker. He's been replaced by Brahim Diaz tonight, who's ex-Man City and AC Milan, but he's not really hit the ground running at any of the clubs he's been at so far. But hopefully, there will be a lot of goals. Leipzig haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 13 Champions League games.
It's a recipe of joy
and
for
well,
us.
They've scored in their last 16 games. So hopefully it'll be a goal fest. But now I've said that, it's probably going to be a 0-0, and this could be the last you're going to hear from me.
Don't worry, we'll keep coming back to you.
Yeah.
We're also going to head back to Jamie Somerville now at the called-off Burton Albion game. Jamie, are you there?
Perfect. Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much. As you can see, I'm walking down the tunnel that the players would have walked down earlier. And yeah, the Pirelli Stadium, obviously, as you can see there. There we go. Look at that. It's like a swimming pool out here. It's such a shame. Lovely stadium set up there in the gantry as well, but obviously you can see it all here. All the tarp they've needed to get the ground not wet, and we're soaked.
What would you predict
it's such
would
a
have
shame. I'm
happened
taking you
tonight,
for a walk
Jamie?
around the ground.
If the game did go ahead, Jamie,
As
what
you
do
can
you
see,
think would happen?
it's wet all around, and in a second you'll see that this corner is soaking wet over here. Personally, I could have seen a win for Burton Albion. Obviously, they beat Bristol Rovers last match 2-1 against bottom of the league side, Carlisle. They should have got a result, but there's not much you can do about weather like this in the north.
No, thank you very much, Jamie. Thanks for giving us that little update on this. We're going to come back to some Champions League action now. Nathan Rawlings.
Yes.
Man City, Erling Haaland. Can they be stopped in the Champions League this year?
Well, the bookies have got Man City as favourites to win the Champions League, and it's hard to see, clear to see why. That Erling Haaland, obviously the man of the moment, scoring all the goals. That signing was the one that helped them win the treble. They've got a plethora of players, incredible depth at every position.
Yeah.
And Guardiola's drilled that into the players, their style of play, and it seems like they can't be stopped. Copenhagen are very capable of providing a shock. Beating Manchester United, beating Galatasaray, drawing 0-0 with Bayern Munich. In a tough group to finish second. They've done very well, but it's looking like Man City should go through here.
Amazing. We're going to talk Saints again. Jamie, do you mind running us through the full Southampton team news this evening?
Well, your full Southampton team, they're sticking with the traditional 4-3-3 that Russell Martin has brought in and really made his own, although there is 4 changes to the side, one of those being the enforced Flynn Downs change. Gavin Bazunu, of course, keeps his position in goal. It's a back 4 of Kyle Walker-Peters, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Jan Bednarek and Ryan Manning. The midfield 3 of Will Smallbone, Shay Charles and Rothwell, and a front 3 of Sam Edozie, Brooks and Adam Armstrong, making his 100th Saints appearance today. Whereas the Bristol City team, they also going with a 4-3-3 and also, like Saints, making 4 changes. O'Leary starts in goal with a back 4 of Tanner, Viner, Dickey and Roberts. The midfield 3 also of James, Williams and Knight, and a front 3 of Bell, Conway and Mehmeti. Incidentally, Jason Knight's 23rd birthday today, so what a better way to be spending it, playing it against Southampton on your birthday and it being Pancake Day. What a
Exactly.
day for them.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it? We're now going to cross to Leyton Orient. We're going to go to Freddie Kilby, who's there for Leyton Orient against Northampton in League One. Off we go to Brisbane Road. Freddie, how's it looking over there?
Yes, thank you, Millie. It's quite a chilly evening here in East London. Richie Wellens' side, Leyton Orient, will be looking to claim all 3 points against the Cobblers today in this EFL League One mid-table clash. Orient currently sit in 9th place with 45 points, whereas their opponents sit in 11th place with 41. However, it's important to note that Northampton Town do have a game in hand, so it'll be a very important 3 points in the line here.
Yeah,
We have two new debutants here today, one for each side. Goalkeeper Louis Molden makes his full debut in goal for Northampton Town. Whereas on the other hand, Keon Edwards, an attacker that joined from Arsenal on loan in January, will make his first full debut here for Leyton Orient. It'll be a very exciting clash, and it'll be a close one, so we'll see how this will pan out. Back to you in the studio.
Freddie, just before you go, did you have a score prediction for us at all tonight?
Oh, to be fair, that's quite a close one. I reckon it'll be a 1-1 draw. Both teams met each other earlier in the season and drew 2-2, so I think it'll be following a similar path.
Thank you, Freddie.
Thank you.
We're also going to go to Chloe Jones as well today, who is at Charlton Athletic versus Lincoln in League One as well. So we're going to cross over to the Valley Stadium now. Chloe, second game for Nathan Jones in charge, ex-Southampton manager. How do you think it's going to go down today? Oh, Chloe Jones is gone. Never mind, guys. We'll go back to her in a minute. We've had a few technical issues there. But actually, I lie. She's back now. Chloe, Nathan Jones, second game in charge for Charlton. How do you see it going down tonight?
Yeah, so obviously it's his first home game. Obviously, they played on Saturday away at Reading, and they did lose 2-0, which is obviously continuing their unfortunate 15-game run now without a victory. So obviously they're hoping to kind of get rid of that bad luck today as they host Lincoln City. However, on Lincoln City's side, they are on quite a winning streak at the moment. They won 2-1 against Fleetwood Town on Saturday, and it seems like they're obviously hoping to keep that winning streak going.
Yeah, like you said, Charlton not doing too well in the league this year. They sit 20th, very near the relegation zone. How do you see the rest of the season playing out for them?
I think obviously they're trying their hardest, obviously with the new manager role as well. I think there's a chance that it could just be bad luck. Sometimes you get the new manager bounce, and then sometimes it kind of goes the opposite way. So I do think they're definitely looking ahead and trying to get better as the rest of the season goes. And obviously they're hoping tonight's match might be the start of that.
Yeah, I think our panel actually had a couple of questions for you, Chloe, as well. Guys, did you have anything to ask Chloe at all?
Obviously, she did her score position. Does she know who's going to score? Has she got any player?
Chloe, who do you think is going to get on the score sheet tonight?
Well, I think it might be a little bit biased, obviously being at the Valley, but I do think that Charlton do have a chance of winning. And I think the score might be 2-1, I'm feeling. I think George Dobson, who's their captain today, has a chance of scoring. And I also think Alfie May might be in there as well.
Yeah, and I think Freddie also had a question about Nathan Jones as well, whether he was the right appointment exactly for that job as well.
Yeah, so Chloe, obviously he didn't last very long at Southampton. Do you think it'll be different this time around?
I think it's the same with all managers. Like when they have a short stint somewhere, you never really know if they're going to repeat that at their new club. But I do think he's got a good chance. I think it seems like he's looking forward to helping these guys out, and hopefully they can end the season higher than they are at the moment.
Well, perfect. Thank you, Chloe. Did you have a score prediction for us at all tonight as well, actually?
Yeah, so I'm thinking it'll be 2-1 to Charlton.
Amazing.
I'm feeling positive.
You're feeling positive. Good to hear, good to hear. Well, we'll come back to you for some more score updates throughout the evening. And I just thought as well, we'd just have a little group discussion here about the Champions League and who's been knocked out already. Manchester United, what happened to them in the Champions League this year?
They just weren't very good, were they? They really didn't show their quality. Like Nathan's watching Copenhagen. I remember watching that game, and I think they were winning, and they just suddenly collapsed. They completely collapsed. They've conceded too many goals this season.
Yeah, we've seen that collapse so many times from Manchester United this year in the league, in the Champions League, in all competitions. Really, it's hard because do you think Erik ten Hag is the right appointment?
I think he's doing an okay job. There's a problem surrounding his man management, isn't there? There's always a lot of speculation whether he falls out with the players like we've seen with Ronaldo and Jadon Sancho in particular. But I think right now he's doing an okay job. They're picking up results. They're scraping results. They've scored a few last-minute goals. But I think right now, stick by him, and I think they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, Nathan, what's your take on ten Hag?
Yeah, I think he's doing an all right job, as Freddie said. They're in a decent position in the league in, I think, fifth it is. He's building a decent squad. I think we've learned from other managers and other teams in the league, like Arsenal, you've got to trust the process.
Definitely.
If you look at Mikel Arteta, in his first 2 seasons with Arsenal, finishing 8th place, below par, especially for that Arsenal side. And now, look, they're flying high. Last season they were challenging for a title, and this season they're doing the same. So I think Man United fans and the board kind of have to stick with it and just hope for the best in the future and give him that time, because that's all he needs really is time.
Yeah, time's such a big thing with management, and now people don't get that these days, really. They get 5 games and they're gone sometimes.
Yeah.
Just like actually, thinking about it, just like Wayne Rooney had at Birmingham. Birmingham are actually a side that play tonight. They take on, whose side is it? Who's John Eustace? Blackburn Rovers, who's managed now by John Eustace, their previous manager. So we're just going to talk a little bit of Championship again, I think. How do you see that top half of the Championship playing out this season, guys? Who do you think's going to? Do you think Leicester will keep winning, and Southampton as well? How do you think that top 2 is going to play out in the playoffs as well?
I think the top 2 is probably likely to stay as it is. Leicester had just too good of a start to the season, and I think obviously they've got their frailties, which we've seen in the last 5 or so games, drawing and losing, but they've got too much of a lead. It's 11 points over Saints now, albeit Saints having a game in hand, but we are reaching that business end of the season, and Leicester have so much Premiership quality in their team, similar to Saints.
Do you think they can be caught, Leicester?
I don't think so, no. Saints will give it their best go, and I can't see Saints' unbeaten run really falling for the rest of the season. I know it's perhaps a bold thing to say, but Southampton are on a roll, but I think Leicester have just got caught up enough of that buffer. But that's the top 2 sorted. The playoffs is a bit of a different beast. You've got the 2 teams in there, Leeds and Ipswich, that are pretty much cemented for that playoff hunt. But
definitely.
the other positions, up for grabs, really. I don't know. Hull could still get in there. Norwich, Preston, even Watford, like 5 or 6 points adrift at the minute.
Yeah.
You put some form together, but we saw at Saints the other day, Watford were poor in the FA Cup. So it really is a roll of the dice. So the top half of the Championship, difficult to say, other than those top 2 that are cemented there.
Yeah, and Ollie, Saints take on West Brom, who you're covering tonight in next Friday. A lot of people have said that could possibly be the end of the unbeaten run. Do you see that West Brom game having effect on, you know, the top half of that Championship table?
I think it's a tough one to predict. I think it depends what West Brom's side turns up, really. I think Southampton have been at such a high level this season, and when they face each other, I think it always generally is a very good game. Just wanted to talk about Southampton, just on their unbeaten run. The contrast between last season and this season is massive.
It's immense, isn't it?
And I feel like West Brom could take a few pointers from Southampton, definitely.
That's very true. We're also going to cross live now to a National League. We've got some reporters at this evening. It's at the EBB Stadium, Aldershot against Fylde. Ben James and Callum Gill are there for us. Guys, what's it looking like down there? It's looking very busy.
Good. Thanks, guys. Hope it's nice and warm in the studio, unlike us here. It's going to be a wet and cold one this evening here at the EBB Stadium. Tonight we're treated to a National League game which sees Aldershot Town FC face AFC Fylde, and it looks to be a great spectacle. Aldershot are currently 6th in the league on 48 points, while Fylde are only on 35 points, sat in 18th place.
It was Aldershot who had the better of this fixture last time out. The side won 2-0 in the reverse fixture, and this evening Aldershot have the 4th best attack in the league, coming up against Flid, who are the 6th worst defence in the league, so we should be expecting some goals. Team news, Aldershot's top goal scorer, Stokes, is on the bench today, but we should still see some goals as the club's 2nd top goal scorer is also still starting.
We have the players just warming up behind us. They should go in about 10 minutes before they'll come out in front of the fans here tonight at the EBB.
Perfect, thank you guys. We'll come to you for some more score updates throughout the evening, and thank you for that little team news update as well. Let's move back onto the Championship here in the studio. So, like you were saying about those promotion places, we've got some really... it's about as tight as we've seen it in the Championship the past few years, obviously, apart from Leicester, who are definitely flying really high at the moment. But what about, you know, this is open to discussion, the relegation places in that Championship? How do you see that bottom half of the table playing out the rest of the season?
Yeah, it looks to be an interesting one. I think it's definitely close down that end of the table. You've got lots of big teams actually down the bottom end of the table. You know, Birmingham, 1.5 in the league, I think, before they sacked their manager and brought Rooney in, who is now not there. You know, big teams like Blackburn, Swansea down there. A bit of a shock, Stoke down in 20th. You know, Rotherham down there at the bottom, 19 points, 7 points off the Sheffield Wednesday in 23rd.
Yeah, no, you can see on the Championship table literally behind us right now. You know, a bit of a shock really. Stoke, I think, is something that shocked everyone a little bit recently. It's, you know, they've been sort of floating in the Championship, sort of middle bottom for years now, just like Southampton did in the Premier League for years. What do you think's gone wrong there?
It's probably a combination of things. I think being in the Championship for so long probably has an effect on the club in terms of financially. You know, from going to be in a Premier League side consistently year on year to now being in the Championship year on year. You know, definitely has its effects on the club and the board, and as I said, financially. Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. It's a bit of a shock for me. You know, I'm used to seeing Stoke in the Premier League, so yeah, definitely.
No, I mean, I suppose we all grew up in that area where like Stoke, Sunderland and West Brom were all still in the Premier League and still, you know, fighting like mid-table. It's almost sort of like what Crystal Palace are doing at the moment. Did you guys watch Palace-Chelsea last night, by the way? Yeah.
Yes.
Who saw that Jefferson Lerma goal? Did anyone see that? Absolute screamer, in my opinion. Okay.
I think they're taking credit away from Lerma actually for that goal. Did you see at half-time as Petr Cech was saying what the goalie should have been doing better, that sort of thing?
Come on, no.
It was a wonder goal, wasn't
it? That was a flipping brilliant
You're not
shot.
stopping it, are you? It was a great goal. But yeah, Palace are in trouble, aren't they?
They are a little bit.
They're cruising, I think. They don't realise how much trouble they're in, and they could end up like Stoke, West Brom quite comfortably, I think. If they don't.
I mean, it's the question. The question looming is: do you think Roy Hodgson you know, does he need to retire? Does he stay at the club?
It's harsh, isn't it? Because he's done such a good job. When he came back as well, he really took them up another level. But I do think it's time to move on. It's just whether who you bring in. There's not that many people who I think would want the job at the moment.
No.
There's a lot of protesting going on and that sort of thing. But I do think they need to try and find a replacement for Hodgson quite soon.
Definitely. Well, there's another League One game in that league tonight. We've got Chance Cromwell, who should have been at the game, unfortunately, but couldn't quite make it there. Portsmouth against Cambridge United. Chance, high-flying Portsmouth against Cambridge, who sit around mid-table at the moment. Can you give us any team news on that game?
Yeah, we've got an exciting League One clash at Fratton Park tonight. Unfortunately, they didn't let me in, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, John Mazzino's men have bounced back from disappointing results over the New Year period and are now unbeaten in 5 matches, winning 4 of them. The travelling side, Cambridge United, are sitting 16th in the League One, so not as good, but they're looking to increase the gap between them and the relegation zone, which is 4 points at the moment. For the home side, right back Zach Swanson has recovered from a groin injury, but tonight's match is a bit too soon for him, so he won't be involved. Other players missing the game tonight are Tino Andrew with a hamstring injury, Terry Devlin, Josh Dockeril, Tom McIntyre, and Joe Morrell. For Cambridge, they have a few players, ex-Portsmouth players, that are injured tonight, such as Ghassan Ahadmi and Brandon Hunstrup. Sorry for the pronunciations, but let's hope we see goals tonight. Let's hope we see goals.
Yeah, you were saying about Tom McIntyre, their new signing there, Chance. From what I've seen, he looks excellent for the club so far. Do you think he can make a big impact tonight at Fratton Park?
Well, unfortunately, he's actually injured tonight, Tom McIntyre, but...
Oh, sorry, I thought you said he was playing. Silly on my part.
No, he's injured. He's injured tonight now.
They've made a few other new signings as well so far this season. They had a pretty decent January transfer window, which they don't normally. They normally go a bit quiet in January and make most of their signings in the summer. But they got 4 or 5 new players in. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, they've got a few new players. On the opposition side, though, Michael Morrison, they got ex-Pompey captain in Cambridge tonight. So that's quite a cool storyline going on.
Oh, yes. I forgot Michael Morrison used to play for Pompey. That is a big storyline there. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that space and see what happens. Did you have a score prediction for us at all today, Chance?
I reckon 2-0 Portsmouth.
2-0 Pompey.
2-0
Well, it is at Fratton Park, so, you know, it's a good chance that Pompey are going to win. Well, thanks, Chance. We'll cross back to you soon. Amazing. Guys, did you have anything to say regarding Pompey? You know, it looked like they were going to go on their little mid-season downfall, but they really seem to pick themselves back up and, you know, they're 6 points clear at the top of the table. Do you think this will be the year they finally get out of League One?
I think it certainly looks like it, doesn't it? I mean, they're high-flying in League One, a tough league. You know, Plymouth last year and Ipswich last year both getting over 100 points, so it looked like a tall order this year, you know, with the level of quality going down from the Championship. But they seem to have, you know, coped with the pressure really well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we've got less than 15 minutes until, you know, our games tonight kick off, apart from you guys in the Champions League and the Championship kick off at 8 o'clock. I want to see some score predictions to you guys tonight, actually. Freddie, what are you predicting tonight? Goal scorers, scoreline? Give it all.
Like I said, it should be a very high-scoring game.
Yes.
But like I said, it might not be now I've said that.
Commentator's curse.
I'm going to go 2-1 Real Madrid. I think they've just got a bit too much quality for Leipzig. Leipzig, they're really good attacking. They have such good attacking players. I think their 2 strikers, they've got 29 goals between just them 2 this season. But Real Madrid, even without Bellingham, I just think they're too good. 14 Champions League speaks for itself, doesn't it? They're going to be too good for them. So 2-1 Real Madrid, I'm going to go for.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Nathan Rawlings, what have you got for us? Score predictions?
I mean, it's hard to bet against Man City, isn't it, at the moment? Their form they're on. I think they're 19 games unbeaten in the Champions League since last season as well, going on to win the treble. And they've obviously got Erling Haaland, top scorer in the Champions League this season with 5 goals. Copenhagen, as I said, are very capable of causing some problems. So I think it'll be a tight game, certainly to start with. And I reckon that Copenhagen might even score first, you know, outside shout there. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Man City. I think Erling Haaland will score.
3-1 at Den Parken. Well, we'll have to see what happens then, shall we? Ollie Price, Cardiff, are they going to cause a little bit of an upset tonight against West Brom?
I think there'll be a bit of fight. Cardiff always been known for getting gritty wins, but I think West Brom are too good tonight. Definitely, we'll look out for Ramsey. I think he might get on the score sheet, so I'm saying 2-1 West Brom.
2-1 West Brom. Okey-dokey. We've got both teams are scoring so far each. Jamie, are Bristol going to score tonight?
I'll be honest, I don't think so. I think
you ruined it. You ruined the streak.
the Saints' back four is just too strong. It's got too much Premier League quality in it, and Bristol City are one of those teams where they're bang average in every single stat. They score a little bit here, a little bit there. They concede a little bit here, a little bit there. Southampton's defence is good. It's not amazing, so I'm not guaranteeing anything. But what we will see is a lot of Saints having the ball, and we'll probably see Adam Armstrong get involved with either a goal or assist. Obviously, the top assister in the Championship and the third top goal scorer. He's been involved, I think, 15 goals and 11 assists from one man. It's just incredible from him.
Yeah, no,
so I think we'll see Adam Armstrong maybe bag 1, 2, even a hat-trick maybe, we don't know.
Even a hat-trick, oh God. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that one then. And there's also been some stuff going on with some Man City fraud charges ahead of their return to the Champions League tonight. Do you reckon that will have any sort of effect on what goes on tonight?
Tonight, I think they'll be all right for tonight. To be fair, you know, it is Man City. They've got an incredible squad. There has been talks for a while now about FFP and Manchester City in particular. All that money they've got. Will it affect them tonight? As I said, I'm not sure it will, but in the future, potentially, you know, whether they get points as actions in the leagues or, you know, transfer embargoes, all that stuff. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see and keep an eye on.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on all those financial fair play rules? Because obviously Man City face Everton on the weekend, and, you know, they're two teams which have supposedly, you know, breached those financial fair play rules. Are the punishments fair to Everton? What's your guys' opinion on that?
Definitely. I feel like you can't. Everything has to be fair. All teams have to have the same rules, and if we allow teams to break those rules, then there has to be punishments. And I feel like 10 points justifies. You can't be spending more than you're earning. And I think Everton fans, they can. I mean, 10 points I think is fair. If there's any more, I think that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
But Man City definitely should be punished as well, because there's definitely some FFP broken laws being done there.
What do you guys think is the right punishment?
I don't think there is a right punishment that we can decide. We don't know what's really going on. Do you know what I mean? Because Man City, they have so many accusations against them, and Everton only had a couple. That's why it's sort of so quick that they've been deducted points. But like Ollie said, I think you've just got to be harsh from the get-go, show them it's not acceptable, and if Man City do get caught with 10 times more charges than Everton and Nottingham Forest, for example, could get, they could be in a lot of trouble if they do get caught.
Yeah. Do you think that points deduction will really affect Everton this season? Do you reckon that could cost them potentially their Premier League place, or do you reckon they'll be all right and they'll still keep up like they do every season and survive?
It's really tough. I think obviously Luton have been, you know, they're getting little points here and there. I think that it's really tough to say who will go down in the moment, but it's definitely going to cost them at some point in the future. Maybe not this season, but I feel like coming down the line, they will be going down in the next 2 seasons, definitely.
Yeah, it does look that way, which is sad because Everton are such a historical Premier League team. They've got lots of history in the league. They've been in the Premier League as long as I can remember. But, you know, we'll have to see what goes on with that. And like you said, there's... sorry, I lost my words now. So, yeah, Everton, huge points lost, but we'll have to see what happens there.
Can I just say as well, I think they're lucky that everyone else is quite bad this year. Sheffield United aren't at the quality.
That bottom three who just got promoted, do you reckon they will be the 3 that get relegated again this season? Do you reckon they'll be a sort of yo-yo club like we've seen in the past?
I think Sheffield and Burnley are pretty much the guaranteed ones to go down. They're just not quite there. Sheffield United don't have the quality. And I think Burnley, they tried to play this expansive football, didn't they, under Vincent Kompany, that they did in the Championship, and it didn't work. They're trying to sort of change that a bit. I don't think they're good enough. I think Luton are the ones that would get out of it. They have, obviously, Kenilworth Road is a bit of a fortress. You don't want to go there, especially like an evening game.
Yeah.
But I think it's between Luton, Everton and Nottingham Forest, depending on more points deductions.
Okay, well, I like that prediction, actually. It's a good little prediction. I also wanted to have a little chat about the Euros in the summer. Anyone planning on going to Germany?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think?
Obviously, being Welsh, I'm hoping we've got our playoffs soon. So if Wales make it, I will definitely be going to Germany. I'm very excited. It's a bit of a new era. Obviously, Gareth Bale retiring. We've got a lot of youngsters, particularly in the Championship. Actually, Ethan Ampadu, Dan James, Joe Rodon. They're all really impressive for Leeds. So I feel like if we can get Ukraine and Poland out of the way, who are our opponents in the playoffs. we can definitely do some damage in the Euros, I reckon.
You know, I think Wales have been definitely strengthening over the years. And, you know, what about England? The likes of Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham moving over to Europe and competing in those, you know, high-quality leagues over there. I know people say the Premier League's the best league in the world, but it's a completely different experience playing in those European leagues. Do you think that will almost give England a sort of upper hand with the likes of Bellingham and Kane playing over there?
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely. I mean, it's hard to, you know, ignore what Bellingham is doing over at Real Madrid. You know, he is the main man for that team, as is Kane. Kane looks like he might break the scoring record for Bayern Munich this season, despite them not even being top of the league. It'd be interesting to see if other players, you know, begin to follow suit and begin to look outside of England and into other clubs in Europe to try and break into Southgate's side. But yeah, as I said, Kane and Bellingham definitely benefiting from that move away.
Yeah, no, 100%. Jamie, down the end, what do you think about the likes of Kane and Bellingham coming over and bringing all that European experience, playing with the players who play for their country over in that European league? You know, they can almost get the little tricks of the trade from those European sides over there.
Well, it's always going to help. And if you've got the ability to have a multifaceted squad that aren't just players in England, because they all know each other, they all get stuck in their ways, and it's just, it all feels very English, and it all feels very alone against each other, whereas a lot of the other European sides have players in pretty much every other top 5, top 6 domestic league. But England have always pretty much had English players. You say Tomori, I think, was one of the only players, Tomori and Bellingham from the World Cup squad, that were from abroad and played abroad. But England this year having the different likes, and England just have so much quality. Players like Saka, Bellingham, Foden. I think England have the potential. I know as English we say this every year, but I think they've probably got the potential to go all the way. It just comes down to those decisive moments, like Kane's penalty against France. If that had gone in the tie was level, who knows, we could be sitting here saying England will go into the Euros as World Cup champions.
Yeah, I know. It's always so tough, those sort of competitions. And Freddie, I wanted to ask you a little question. Do you think, say, if England don't win the Euros this summer, is that your time up for Gareth Southgate?
If I'm honest, I think he's lucky to be there as it is. He's done amazing things for England. However, like Jamie said, I think we have the quality that we should win something, and we probably should have already won something. But yeah, I do think if we don't win the Euros or even get close, I think that's probably his last straw.
Yeah.
I did see a thing saying that they might even be extending his contract till the World Cup, no matter what the result is. But yeah, I do think if we don't challenge or even win it, I think we have to win it, or else that's his time up.
Yeah, I think I hear a lot of sort of mumblings, like the only competition that England have is France. That's the only competition they should have, and realistically, how they don't have the same squad depth as England does. Gareth Southgate's got such a plethora of players that he can pick from. Should France even be competing? Should France even be in the same category as England?
It's almost like we've got too many options, isn't it? There's so many attacking players like the Grealish, the Foden, that sort of position. Now Maddison. It's who do you play? And France, they do have a good depth, but I think ours is probably better. They just have an elite manager that knows how to win things. It's probably a bit of a controversial one, but I do think a good person to take over would be Jose Mourinho. I know that's a bit out there, but he's a tournament winner, isn't he?
A lot of people say it's not English, you don't want a foreign manager managing an English side. But then again, it's just about whoever can do the job for you. And, you know, like we say over here, bring football home. But, you know, it's a tough one, the England management, because Gareth Southgate here has his select players that he likes to pick every tournament. You get your likes of your Calvin Phillips in there. You get, you know, so many other players who necessarily haven't looked good enough, especially in the league form. You know, like we saw earlier on in the month, Calvin Phillips had that stinker of a debut, let's be honest, for West Ham. And hopefully, you know, Gareth Southgate can get out of that sort of picking the players that he's comfortable with and maybe branch out and, you know, get that squad which can win England a tournament. I just wanted to ask you guys as well, you know, you said maybe Jose Mourinho might be a good shout. What do you guys think about who should probably be the next England replacement?
If you're looking at raw talent, Jurgen Klopp's free, isn't he? He's going to be free.
So.
Yeah.
There's always that little bit of a bias here about, do you want a manager who's not from the country? England haven't done it really since the days of Hodgson, or since after the days of Hodgson and Southgate, but it's really difficult to look past the vision of having anything other than Southgate at the minute. So we're stuck in that rut. But I think Klopp in terms of raw talent, but then you've got the likes of the English managers. Eddie Howe always gets a shout when the England manager job comes up. So would he be willing to leave the project of Newcastle? But who knows? My go-to right now would be Jurgen Klopp.
Okay. Ollie, what are your thoughts?
Definitely. So I think someone who's free right now, Graham Potter.
That's not a bad shout.
Definitely.
Not something I've really thought about.
Obviously, a terrible tie to Chelsea, but I feel like Chelsea are just absolutely in turmoil right now. I think that anyone who goes there is not going to have a good time. You can see it with Poch as well. Definitely a very tough job. And I feel like maybe had the rug pulled from under him, I think that if he'd given, the England team, I think he can create. He's very tactically sound. I think he could do a lot of great things with that England squad.
Mr. Rawlings, what are your thoughts?
To be honest, Ollie stole mine. I was going to say Graham Potter. I think we need someone. I think I can speak for a lot of England fans when I say that we're far too defensive. Everyone makes jokes about how Southgate calls up so many right backs every tournament.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that we're far too defensive. We've got so much attacking talent that we need to play more attacking, more expansive football. I think Graham Potter would be the man to do that. We saw what he did with Brighton. How he transformed that team into a European quality side. And De Zerbi's obviously taken that further. But yeah, Graham Potter was the person I had in mind. Stick with the English manager for the English side. And play more attacking football.
I've heard some mutters about other people maybe saying maybe get Thomas Tuchel in the job. How do you guys feel about that?
I think he fits the same mould as, Freddie said, Mourinho, as probably someone slightly more defensive. We saw what he did with the Chelsea side. Yes, he won the Champions League, but, he's a German manager. He's trained in that German style of football, which is slightly more defensive. I think it would be better to have someone with Premier League experience, someone with experience managing some of the England squads, as I said, and someone that plays expansive football and attacking football, somebody more just enjoyable to watch, I think. I think, to be honest, I don't know about anyone else on the panel, but I think I would rather watch England play good football and maybe achieve a third place rather than play dull, boring football and scrape a 1-0 win in the final. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think nowadays fans want attractive style of football and they wanted to see their country play exciting football. Personally, I think if you get the result, it doesn't matter how you do it. I think easily just get the ball in the back of the net and you can talk about how awful you played.
Yeah, exactly that, Ollie. We're hoping to see England play some very attacking football in the summer. We're going to cross over because it's now just gone 7:45 and we believe Leyton Orient have kicked off with Freddie Kilby. Freddie, what's gone on in those first few minutes?
Yeah, thank you, Millie. I say the fans are an absolute fine voice here. The away fans make a lot of noise. So's the South Stand here. There's been a couple of Northampton Town attacks so far, but nothing too challenging for the Leyton Orient defence to deal with. They marshaled out the danger quite well so far. Started off quite even. So it should be quite an even affair here, I reckon. But you will see how it pans out for the rest of the game.
Perfect, thank you very much, Freddie. We'll come back over to you for any score updates throughout the evening. And I'm not sure if we're ready to cross anyone else yet, but we will go to anyone else when we can. You guys have got 10 minutes till kick-off. How are you feeling ahead of those games?
Yeah, all the games you've got on live here, the panel, do look to be exciting ones. Southampton, will that unbeaten run be broken today? Who knows? It looks to be a good one. Cardiff as well. West Brom challenging for a playoff spot. It looks to be. I'm definitely looking forward to all of them.
Oh, we've had a goal already, actually. In the Championship, Leicester City are 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. I'm yet to be told who that scorer is in that match, but, if anyone could let me know that in a minute, that would be excellent. But, Leicester 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Actually, it's Fatu, actually, scoring in the 4th minute, so, not a surprise there. So, Sheffield Wednesday, bottom of the table. What can you do, Leicester? Flying high as always, so no surprise there about that score. We're going to cross now to Aldershot with Ben, James and Callum. Guys, how's the first few minutes looking over there?
Hi, we've had a lively start to this game. The atmosphere is heating up and so is the action on the pitch. Just 2 minutes into the game, Barrett had a run down the left-hand side where he slid in the club's second top goal scorer, Tolaj, who just had the goalkeeper to beat, but unfortunately his effort hit the side netting. We've just resumed play as a player from Floyd has had a head injury, but play is back under the way, but we are still 0-0.
Yeah, the fans are sounding very loud over there, Callum. We've got some of the Aldershot Ultras out, maybe.
so loud.
Never
they
mind.
can't hear you.
They're so loud they can't even hear. That's right. We also had a goal at Rotherham. So Rotherham taking on Hull at home tonight. They're 1-0 up, which is a bit of a surprise actually. Hull really fly highs at the moment. So Rotherham 1-0 up. We're going to cross over to Stevenage now for Stevenage Bristol Rovers with Nathan Potter. Nathan, how the first few minutes looked to that game?
Evening, long throw into the box. Bristol Rovers unable to clear it, and it's Kane Hemmings who's able to tap it home from 12 yards out. 1-0.
Oh my God, 1-0 to Stevenage over Bristol Rovers. Nathan, you still there? Can you hear me? If you can, what's the atmosphere looking like over there?
Stevenage, they've got a drum.
They've got a drum, that's good to know.
Yeah. Both sides, both sets of fans have been superb so far, nearly 6 minutes.
How's the capacity looking? Is it looking pretty full?
No, quite a few empty seats down behind the end that Bristol Rovers are attacking the first half.
You're on a cold Tuesday night in Stevenage, you don't really blame them for not really want to come out. We've also had a goal down in League 2. Tranmere are 1-up against Morecambe in that game there. So we'll keep you updated with all the scores throughout the games in the evenings. No other scores to update you as of yet. Actually, no, we do. Shrewsbury are 1-0 up against Barnsley in League 1. Not too sure on the goal scorer. Let me just have a little look for you. Not come up. Brilliant. I'll let you know as soon as that comes in. We're going to cross over to Chance now, who is reporting on the game at Fratton Park, Pompey against Cambridge.
It's been an exciting first 5 minutes here at Fratton Park, end to end. Best chance to be through Portsmouth though. Miles Park had a shot on goal, but as of yet, no goal. But it's been an exciting bit of football.
Yeah, Pompey always seem to play some exciting football. From what you can see, Chance, is Fratton Park looking full and in voice this evening as always?
Yeah, they just had another chance on goal. Penalty shouts, but no penalty given.
We're going to cross back to Aldershot now with Callum Gill and Ben James.
We can hear
Is
you.
anything happening over there, lads?
At the moment, 6 minutes in, nothing really to talk about. It's been a bit of a cagey affair. However, Fylde are now on the attack. If you'd like to stay with us while we watch what comes of this free kick, it's on the edge of the box. I think it was number 4, Aldershot centre-back Cian Harries that pulled down the Fylde attacker. Aldershot are just setting up their wall. As the Fylde number 10 sets himself. As you can hear behind me, the Aldershot fans are in full voice. Straight into Geordie fan stopper Sapostov's hands.
Perfect. Thank you guys down at Aldershot. Keep us updated on those score lines, please. We've also had another goal in the Championship. Yeah. So it's Swansea 0, Leeds United 1. What a shot, guys. It's Somerville again. Is that a surprise? Anyone surprised by that? I imagine not. He's been doing great for them so far this season, really, hasn't he, ever since he's joined the club?
Yeah, I mean, it's Leicester and Leeds winning again. Hopefully we can say when Southampton kick off that they'll be leading 1-0 early on, but it's the teams at the top of the Championship flying high, and there just is that separation at the minute, isn't there, between the top 4, top 5 that are really running away with it. But Somerville's been great, Leicester have been great. We hope Southampton will be great later on.
Only 5 minutes until those 2 other games kick off in the Championship this evening. I've got no really other goals to tell you about so far this evening. I lie, actually, down in League 2. Stockport 0, Crewe Alexandra 1 in League 1. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Tranmere 1, Morecambe 0. Any other games going on this evening? Like I said earlier, we've got Birmingham Blackburn, which is still 0-0. Rotherham Hull 1-0. Swansea Leeds 0-1. We've got Bolton Wickham down in League 1. You know, Bolton High Flyers in the league. That's still 0-0. Burton Carlisle, as we know, is postponed. Charlton Lincoln is 0-0 at the moment. Exeter Derby 0-0. Fleetwood Reading 0-0. Leyton Orient and Northampton. Oxford and Wigan. Portsmouth and Cambridge, all the same scoreline. Shrewsbury 1, Barnsley 0. Accrington Stanley 0, FC Wimbledon 0 in League 2, and pretty much every other scoreline apart from Stockport Crew that I mentioned, and Tranmere Morecambe are goalless. We're going to go back to the Aldershot boys now. Is there anything else that's going on, lads?
Just as you've come to us, we've had a promising attack from File down this right-hand side. A dangerous ball fizzed across the 6-yard box, but unfortunately for them, nothing coming. They have got a corner now on the follow-up, but considering we're 0-0, we have had plenty of action so far. We're just waiting for this ball to be delivered in now. Fans are in fine spirits for a cold Tuesday evening night. The ball's just been delivered in now. It's been cleared, and the second ball's been cleared further out.
Perfect, thank you for that little update, Callum. I must now tell you as well, Leeds are 2-0 up against Swansea. Any guesses on the goal scorer, guys?
Was it Somerville again by any chance?
No, another one. Come on, you've got to know this.
Router?
No, Joel Pirro. Of course it is, of course it is. Come on,
yeah, Swansea
don't
man.
brush up on your championship knowledge. We're going to cross over to Chloe Jones now at Charlton. Chloe, what's happening over at the Valley?
So it's still 0-0 at the moment, but there have been some close chances. Lincoln have had 2 free kicks so far, both taken by number 10, which is Teddy Bishop. But Charlton at the start, they did really have it in Lincoln's side quite a lot, but they're struggling a little bit. We did manage to take it up quite a lot of the pitch with number 29, which is Daniel Kanyu, but who is actually new to the game, as he didn't play in the starting 11 last match. But yeah, it's still 0-0 here at the moment.
Chloe, who do you think the key players are going to be? Who's going to get on the score sheet tonight?
I don't know. I think Lucas Jensen from Lincoln City could score. And then I also think Charlton athletic-wise, I think Lloyd Jones has a good chance.
Amazing. Well, thank you. We hope to come back to you soon with hopefully some goals from Charlton. Guys, we've got 2 minutes till kick-off. How are you feeling ahead of those ones? Who's happy about the return of the Champions League tonight? I know I am. I've really missed it over the last couple of months. Quite often, me and my half sit at home on a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Thursday watching European football. Really enjoyable most of the time. Are you big into Champions League football? What do you think of it? Because I hear lots of mixed opinions about the Champions League and the Europa League compared to the normal EFL leagues and the Premier League. Do you think it's a distraction from the main leagues? Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think it is. I think it is the best competition, isn't it? I love watching it. Obviously, my team are no longer in it, which we don't want to talk about. But it just is the best competition. The fans, that's what they're up for. The big teams, that's what they want to win. I know they're changing the format next year, I believe, which I'm not a big fan of. It is a great competition as it is. Yeah, I don't think it's a distraction. I think a lot of teams would actually sometimes prioritise this one over.
Do you know much about what that format change might look like?
I can't. I'm not sure. Can you
It looks to be some sort of a league phase.
Yeah.
With the top sort of 8 teams going in, and then the next 8 is going to go into a playoff. From what I know, there will also be no relegation into the Europa League from the Champions League, and also from the Europa League to the Conference League next season. So, yeah, not sure why they're changing the format. Personally, I quite like the group stages. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's always special to watch group football. I think there'll be more on the line, or there is more on the line. Sorry, with the format it is now. So yeah.
100%. Just some other score updates for you. Doncaster are 1-0 up at Salford, and Morecambe have pulled one back. And the score at Tranmere is Tranmere 2, Morecambe 1. We're going to cross over to League 1 now. Back to Nathan Potter at Stevenage. Nathan, any more gone on since we last spoke to you?
Pretty much been all Stevenage. Bristol Rovers struggling to get out of that half currently. But Rovers now with a throw-in that's looking to go into the penalty area.
Any effective attacks for each side so far?
Pardon?
Any effective attacks for each side so far, Nathan?
Since the goal, Jamie Reid came on the counter-attack from Rovers being in the Stevenage half for the one chance so far. But nothing. It's a ball in from Elkin Baggett. Lewis Gordon's put it back across to Chris Martin, but he's unable to put it away, and it's been blocked. Now Stevenage on the counter. Jamie Reid. So the byline ball in. Jed Ward there, able to claim it, and just look to slow the pace down now.
Amazing. So thank you, Nathan. Still 1-0 up at Stevenage as they host Bristol Rovers. We're going to go straight to Freddie Kilby now at Leyton Orient. Freddie, anything happened since we last spoke to you?
Well, since you last spoke to me, Millie, Orient have been very attacking, creating a lot of opportunities. I've had a few corners already. The best chance coming from Brandon Cooper at the back post. The delivery was swung in, and he sort of free on his own at the back post, headed it towards the goalkeeper, but Louis Molden pulled off a great save to deny him. So far, I'd say it's pretty much all Orient at the moment. Obviously, Northampton are having their chances coming forward when they can, but at the moment, Orient are creating the best chances for me. It's Leyton Orient 0, Northampton Town 0.
Thank you very much, Freddie. We'll come back to you for some more score updates. We've got some updates as well from League 2. Bradford are 1-0 up at home to MK Dons. Mansfield are 1-0 up against Harrogate. And it's still Stockport 0, Crewe 1, and Tranmere 2, Morecambe 1. So we've had kickoffs now in both the late games in the Championship and in the Champions League. Jamie, anything going on so far in the Southampton game? Oh, we've got a goal. We've got a goal, everyone. First one in the studio.
No, it's not. The offside flag's gone up.
Oh,
it was a
that
sloppy
was really
start.
embarrassing. I just clapped all for nothing.
It was a sloppy start from Madrid. They went to clear the ball and they actually sliced it out behind for a corner. The corner comes in, Schlager then smashes it back from the edge of the box. It sort of bobbles up, and I think it's Benjamin Sesko there to sort of head it in whilst the Madrid defence was sleeping. But it does look like it is offside, so it's not going to count. But I thought I had a really exciting start there.
All for nothing. All for nothing. Right, Jamie, let's go back to you. Anything gone on in the Southampton?
It is being checked by VAR though, so
keep us updated,
I
please,
will.
Freddie. Keep us updated. Jamie, anything going on in that Southampton-Bristol City clash yet?
Well, we're about 90 seconds in. Saints did their traditional kick-off of going straight back to Bazunu, lumping it out of play, and since then Bristol City have had the ball. And it's just gone out for a throw-in now, but a couple of moments ago, just as Freddie was talking, it was a really good slide ball pass from the Bristol City midfielder, and Conway was in. If he'd put the afterburners on a little bit sooner, I think he'd have been able to nick in past Bazunu there, but Bazunu shoved it straight out for a throw-in. But Southampton not really having much of the ball in the opening 2 minutes so far.
Well, that's a surprise there. Southampton normally, as we know, very possession-based football. Ollie, what's going on with West Brom and Cardiff at the moment?
Nothing much. A lot of just kickball in the air. I expect it from both teams, to be fair. Obviously, just being both Cardiff being a very counter-attack based side, but yeah, nothing to report.
Oh, apparently we've had another goal in the Championship, but I cannot see exactly where that one is. Never mind, we'll come back to that in a second. Nathan, anything to update us on Man City looking on top yet?
Yeah, 3 minutes in, still 0-0, but Man City have had the majority of the possession. They had a small chance just then, ball into the box, and De Bruyne with a header, but he headed it wide off target. As I said, it's been all City as you could expect. Stones and Rodri in the midfield having a lot of the possession, flinging it out to the wings. But, 3.5 minutes in, 4 minutes in, still 0-0.
Yeah, and just while we're here, just since De Bruyne's come back, do you think he's made a massive impact, on that? I mean, in my opinion, Kevin De Bruyne is Manchester City. He was Manchester City before he got injured. And I think that was part of, they didn't have much of a dry spell, but they hit a little bit of a rough patch during that first half of the Premier League season. Do you reckon him coming back is really going to affect the sides?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw against Everton on Saturday, Man City not having a shot on target in the first half for the first time since August of 2022. As soon as Pep decided to bring De Bruyne on, he changed the game. City were far more dominant in the midfield. They created far more chances, and they ended up winning the game 2-0 thanks to Kevin De Bruyne and obviously 2 goals from Erling Haaland. But yeah, he came on then, changed the game, and I think the mentality of that City team changes when they've got De Bruyne on the side. They can be more expressive.
Definitely.
They know they can find De Bruyne, and De Bruyne will find the passes. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, we're going to cross back over to Aldershot now. Any action going on there, Callum? No worries, I'm not sure if they can hear us too well
There's
over
been a goal.
there. Oh, there's
Goal
been a
West Brom.
Goal.
Yeah.
Ollie, what's happened?
So Mikey Johnston has scored for West Brom. It was, as I said, it was been equal at the start, but West Brom finally got on top. It was only in the first minute, which came quite soon. Definitely expected West Brom to come out, but obviously can come back. And
Yeah,
with West Brom's league
did.
defence, I do suspect they will.
Perfect. Well, so it's 1-0 at West Brom against Cardiff at the moment. We're gonna. Oh, there's been a goal at Norwich as well against Watford. So Norwich are 1-0 up against Watford. So the Canaries, ahead at Watford, and I'm going to talk to you now, Freddie. Oh, apparently there's been another goal. Apparently Watford have scored. I've been lied to. Apparently, actually. Thank you, director, for that. Making me look a little bit silly there, but no worries. Freddie, anything more going on in that Champions League clash of yours so far?
It's been a really good game so far. Real Madrid have actually been really sloppy on the ball. Leipzig are dominating possession. They did have another chance whilst Ollie was talking, but the shot was blocked quite comfortably. But they're on top. Their fullbacks are very high up the pitch. David Raum is getting down the left. He's flying down the left, actually. But so far, Ancelotti will not be very happy. But it is only 5 minutes in. There's plenty of time still. But Real Madrid
minutes yet to go.
They just need to get hold of the ball, Madrid, which isn't something normally they're associated with, is it? Normally they always have the ball.
We're going to cross back over to Aldershot now live. I'm going to give it another go. Callum, what's going on over there?
Sadly, Millie, not a lot in the last 10 minutes. A promising start with Soltos with 2 opportunities inside the first 10, but the main changes since then, just as a cross has come in, it's come to the edge of the box for Flid. Filed, sorry. There's a shot and it's gone over the bar. But for the last 5 minutes, the biggest change has been the weather. It's raining more and the lights have got brighter. But other than that, and the shot has just happened, we're still 0-0 here.
Tell you what, I love a bit of Flide in the National League. What do you guys think of Flide? Oh God, that's funny. Aldershot versus Fylde in the National League tonight, which is where Callum Gill and Ben James are. Nathan Rawlings, what's going on in that championship game of yours?
The
Championship? I said
Champions
League.
Yeah.
Long day.
Man City currently have a corner with Kevin De Bruyne lining up to take it. As we had Freddie talking there, there was a big chance of Man City. Foden whipped the ball in from a free kick. The keeper then saved the header from Haaland, but it was parried straight to Nathan Ake, who had basically an open goal, but with his left foot just flung his left boot at it and completely missed the goal, took it out for a goal kick. They really should have scored. They're on the attack now. Bernardo Silva has it on the wing. He plays it back, and there's been dispossessed. They've actually got a free kick there. Jack Grealish has gone down with a heavy tackle from Victor Claesson. So still 0-0, but it looks to be all Man City as expected.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you expect from what's going on, Freddie?
Well, Real Madrid had a corner, and it was second time lucky. They sort of bounced down, and it was another shot from Camavinga. It was actually quite comfortable in the end by Golaski in goal, but the angle that the camera was at looked like it might have just been sneaking in. But quite a comfortable save there for Golaski in goal, only making his 3rd start after being out for the season with a cruciate ligament injury.
Yeah.
Nearly a goal.
Nearly a goal. Well, we're going to cross back over to the Lamex Stadium shortly, where Stevenage have gone 2-0 up against Bristol Rovers. I'm just going to run you through some more scorelines so far for the evening. So, in the Championship so far, never mind, we're going to cross back over to Nathan. Nathan's ready to join us live. Nathan, what happened? Bristol Rovers 2-0 down.
It's another goal for Stevenage on the 25th minute mark. Unsure who scored it, but it seemed to be from close range, and it's now 2-0 Stevenage, 25 minutes gone.
Nathan, anything else happening? A Stevenage dominating possession of Bristol Rovers looking pretty mediocre?
Pretty much it's just been Stevenage Rovers with a few odd chances now and again, but most of the ball has been in the Bristol Rovers half.
Could it be a disaster for Bristol Rovers? Are we going to get a 9-0 down there?
I don't think so.
Well, we can keep. There's still a lot of time left. We can keep our fingers crossed that maybe Bristol Rovers can have an exciting comeback. But we'll have to see. Thank you very much, Nathan. At the Lamex Stadium, we're going to run you through some of those scorelines again. So in the Championship, Birmingham host Blackburn Rovers. That's 0-0. Leicester 1-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich 1-0 up against Watford. Rotherham also 1-0 up against Hull City. Swansea 0, Leeds 2, Bristol City and Southampton are still goalless. Anything going on there, Jamie Olszynski?
Southampton really...
Goal.
Oh, we've had a goal.
We've had a goal. Kevin De Bruyne has picked the ball up on the wing and he's just cut inside and driven it low, bottom corner. 10 minutes gone, it is 1-0 Manchester City with, as we know, the man we spoke before, the man at the moment, Kevin De Bruyne, who, makes it 1-0. City looking comfortable in possession and they've capitalised on their chances and scored.
Surprise there, surprise, surprise. We're now going to cross over to Chance Cromick in the studio, who should be at Fratton Park, but they did let him in. Chance, what's going on at Fratton Park?
Yeah, it's still 0 at Fratton Park. Portsmouth had a lot of the ball, around 75%-ish, but as of right now, not able to capitalise. There was a weird moment where Brophy, the Cambridge defender, was elbowed by his own goalkeeper, but it looks like he's all right and able to continue. But yeah, still 0-0 here at Fratton Park.
Perfect, thank you very much, Chance. We're going to go through some postponed fixtures so far this evening. So as we know, Burton Albion and Carlisle were both postponed. Peterborough United against Port Vale was also postponed. Colchester United and Grimsby Town in League 2 postponed. In the National League, you also had Altrincham Wealdstone postponed, but that was because of those FA Trophy fixtures, I believe. And Solihull Moors against Kidderminster was also postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. But luckily, Jamie, Chippenham Town still going ahead tonight against Dartford, but that's still 0-0, unfortunately. Just to let you know, thought I'd let you know that. We've seen a lot of these waterlogged pitch areas, especially up in the northern area, guys. Do you think those those EFL teams? I hate to say it, but they should definitely have some better quality pitches. For they've got to be prepared for these weather conditions.
Well, you think so? You see a lot in the National League and Step 2 of the non-league. A lot of these teams have implemented, if they've got the financial capability to do so, they've got the artificial pitches, and it absolutely helps to keep the games on like tonight. But the EFL don't let clubs in with them, so we've seen teams like Sutton have had to, once they've been promoted back into the EFL, they've had to rip the artificial pitch out, put a grass one in, and they've seen a number of games called off. If Bromley go up from the National League this year, they've got to rip their pitch up. So it is an important thing for clubs to make decisions about when they're in the National League. But you see games like tonight, we've got all those games called off. Could that be changed? Could the EFL budge on that rule to allow artificial pitches back in the league? We'd have to wait and see. But another week of a few postponed fixtures, and I'm sure Jamie Somerville will be lobbying to get Burton Albion an artificial pitch after his journey tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue that needs to get fixed in those football league games. We're going to cross over to Aldershot now in the National League, like we have done many times already this evening. We've got Ben James there. Ben, what's happened?
To be honest, not much has really happened. We just heard Aldershot striker Josh Barrow has gone down injured, which has seen the introduction of Aldershot's top scorer Josh Stokes onto the pitch. He's actually just signed for Bristol City a £250,000 transfer, which is Aldershot's record fee for a player in the whole club's history. Oh, goal! File just scored.
Oh, we've had a goal.
Goal to File. Corner's whipped in. The Aldershot goalkeeper's punch was less than good, and it's just fallen to the feet of the File striker, whose easiest goal of his life, slotted it away. 1-0. 1-0 Filed here at the EBB Stadium.
At least, Ben, you could get that name right. It's not Flynn, it's Filed, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been trying to tell Callum, but he's not really listening to me.
Oh, poor Callum. We'll get there at some point. Well, thank you very much for that. I've also had some news that Norwich are 2-0 up at the moment, but they did miss a penalty earlier on. Quite shocking. Normally, I say shocking, people miss penalties all the time. I don't really know what I'm about, to be honest. But Norwich 2-0 up at home to Watford. We're going to cross over. Ollie, anything going on at West Brom Cardiff at the moment?
Well, as I predicted, it's still 1-0, but Cardiff have been on top. West Brom they conceded a lot of chances. Just not bad tackling, losing possession in their own half. And I feel like Cardiff should really be punishing them at the moment. They've 5 shots in the game in total, so could be a good game, but nothing really happening at the moment.
Still 1-0 over there. Apparently there's also been another goal at the Lamex Stadium. We'll try and get Nathan Potter live for you soon to tell us what's happened. I'm going to run through some League 2 scores for you now. Accrington Stanley 0, AFC Wimbledon 0. Forest Green are 1-0 up against Barrow. I was really hoping actually that there would be a Forest Green were playing at home this weekend. This weekend? It's the week. Honestly, my brain is all over the place tonight. I was really hoping Forest Green were playing at home today, but no one played to try their vegan food. I really wanted people to try their vegan food, but Never mind, that's fine. Bradford City 1, Milton Keynes 0, Crawley Town against Walsall is 0-0. Gillingham Swindon, did you guys know that's actually a bit of a rivalry? That's another game I was really hoping we could get someone to tonight. Anyone know why?
No, not a clue.
No, no one knows. Well, basically, it's this rivalry with Swindon that stems from it was a fractious third division clash at Priestfield in 1979. There was a referee and a police sergeant were both assaulted by a home fan, and for some reason that's now led to them for having a weird non-geographical rivalry.
Oh, wow.
And that's why you're the presenter.
Exactly, because I have weird little facts in my brain like that. But if we want any non-league facts, we'll just go to the end of that panel over there. Jamie, any non-league facts for us this evening?
Chippenham Town are absolutely massive. I think it's still 0-0, but Ollie's going
how's that
berserk over
scored?
something.
What's going on, Ollie? What's going on?
So, the ball's whipped in. Wilson Espran has just jumped in the air and tried to head it, but he's heads it to the ground and it's just bounced up and it's been cleared by West Brom. Cardiff are really knocking on the door. I think Cardiff should be scoring that, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, no, definitely true. We're going to cross over to the Lamex Stadium now, where I previously mentioned there'd been a goal. Nathan, who scored?
Bristol has got one back now, 2-1. Luke Thomas with an absolute corker from the edge of the area into the top right-hand corner. And Rovers on the attacking game currently, but it's been cut out. It's currently 32 minutes gone. Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 1.
Mr. Potter, you don't need to sound that excited about Bristol Rovers getting one back.
It won't mean anything, probably.
Oh, God. Oh, Nathan Potter, a joy as always. I'm not sure if any of you know, not sure if we're allowed to actually say this, but Nathan Potter, big Bristol Rovers fan. He loves the Rovers. Speaking of Bristol, Jamie, anything going on with Bristol City against Southampton?
It's been a quiet 16 minutes so far, and Russell Martin, the pictures have just showed him actually bellowing at some of his players. Bazunu's been a little bit slippery when it comes to his passing out from the back. He's just done a good long ball there, but he's just been a bit slippery. He's knocked out for a few throw-ins, but in terms of chances, Bristol City have had all three of them, really. They've not been too big. Sam Bell down the left-hand side has been flying in and out of Carl Walker-Peters at the minute. He's had him absolutely on toast. I know it's pancake day. We might have had him on a pancake. But then there was a great ball from Bell using his left foot to get it to the back post, where Tanner made a run from right back. You saw him absolutely dart from one side of the pitch to the other, but he had the shot like a right back and is absolutely skewed out. I think if you're looking at to do what Joe Rothwell did on Saturday and bend one into the top corner.
Oh, you can't make those sort of moments happen, can they? They just sort of happen, don't they? That was an incredible goal from Joe Rothwell. Ollie,
cleared off the line again. West Brom are absolutely in tatters. Off the line from a free kick. Turnbull walks in. Oh, God, Southampton. Yeah, Turnbull crosses it in. And West Brom clear off the line. Crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're just going to head up the road from Southampton now to Fratton Park and to Chance Cromwick in the studio. Chance, what's going on at the moment? Any goals to update us on?
No, Portsmouth 0, Cambridge United 0, but Cambridge are getting into the game. It's quite a more even affair than it was earlier. They even had a great chance by Sully Kai, who had an attempt on goal. It wasn't on target, but they're getting back into the match. Quite an even match now.
Perfect, thank you, Chance. Thanks for that little update. Hopefully we can get some goals with you soon. We're going to go back and talk a little bit more about this West Brom game at the moment. Ollie, like you said, they're just absolutely in tatters. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So usually when you get a goal, you think you'd sit back and think, but West Brom are actually trying to think to attack and get another goal, but it's actually costing them. Cardiff are putting everything against them. They're right back in their own half, and West Brom, again, they keep trying to play out from the back, but they're losing it in possession, and it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them in the end, definitely.
Definitely, it sounds that way. Well, we're going to go live to Freddie Kilby now at Leyton Orient. Freddie, it sounds like there's been a goal.
Yeah, thank you, Millie. It's just turned Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 0, and it looked like it was a bit of a bizarre goal, really. It was whipped in. I can't tell exactly who it was, but it was whipped in from the left-hand side of the flank. And it looks like one of the Leyton Orient players he flicked his leg up and let the ball roll under, caught the goalkeeper completely off guard, and he's put the host 1-0 up. I was going to say that there's not been much action since last spoke to me. Northampton Town have grown into the game, created a lot of chances, have not really tested Sol Bryn in goal. But yeah, it's very action-packed. It's Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 0.
Amazing, Freddie Kilby. Thank you so much. That's Freddie Kilby there at Brisbane Road. We're going to cross over straight to Aldershot now at the EBB Stadium. Ben James, there seems to have been another goal, hasn't there? Actually, no, Callum, sorry. Callum, not Ben.
Yes, you're right, Millie. Aldershot 0, AFC Fylde 2. A well-worked goal down the left-hand side. Fylde have just been growing into this game, getting their foot on the ball and knocking it around. Josh Kay drove in from the right-hand side into the box, went round two players and slotted his finish into the bottom left corner. Tensions have risen since the goal. You may be able to hear the fans as Kay ran in front of the Aldershot fans and gave them the shh. So that's upset people here. Back to you.
Perfect. Those fans are sounding in fine voice. Just before you go, Callum, I hear there might have been a red card as well. But for who?
Oh, you were good though. That was good.
Red cards at all, Callum, down there at Aldershot? If you can hear me. No, we can't hear one. We're going to cross back to our panel now, and we're going to talk to Freddie Dorman, who's on RB Leipzig against Real Madrid tonight. Been a bit quiet in the last 20 minutes or so, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's still Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 0. There's been a few sort of half opportunities. Benjamin Sesko was one-on-one technically with the goalkeeper, but he was a very tight angle, so he put it straight at him. Tony Kroos, he's had a sort of edge of the box shot, but again, straight at Galaski. Real Madrid definitely getting hold of the ball a bit more, but Leipzig, they look quite comfortable, and I would say they are the better team. So it's still Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, slight shock there, isn't it? Leipzig looking on top against Real Madrid. There's been a couple more goals in the Championship now, which I can update you on. Leeds are 2-0 up against Swansea, and Leicester have got another Jamie Vardy against Sheffield Wednesday. Sorry, Leeds 3-0 instead of up against Swansea, not 2-0. We're going to cross back over to Freddie again at Leyton Orient. Freddie, any more gone on since that last goal we just spoke about?
No, not really, Millie, but I have caught up with who the actual goal scorer was, and it was number 21, Oliver O'Neill, on his just 5th appearance this season for the club. He's not recorded any goals or assists so far this season, so he'll be delighted to get his name on the score sheet and to put the hosts in front in this important tie. It's Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 0.
That is some perfect insight for us here in the studio, Freddie. What a guy. But yeah, no, like I said, sorry, I just messed up on those scores a little bit earlier. It's Leicester 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday, and Leeds 3-0 up against Swansea. And it also sounds like there's been an injury down at Fratton Park. We're going to cross over to Chance Cromick now in the studio. Chance, what's going on? Who's injured?
Well, yeah, it's still Portsmouth 0, Cambridge 0, but there's been an injury. A Welsh midfielder, Tom Lowry, has been taken off. Quite unfortunate. The player to come on for Portsmouth is Owen Moxon. But yeah, still Portsmouth 0, Cambridge 0.
Wow, Tom Lowry coming off for Portsmouth with an injury could be a big blow for them in their chase for promotion. We're going to go back as now again to Aldershot. It sounds like they might be 3-0 down to Flid. Ben, any score updates for us down here?
Yes, it is now 3-0 to AFC Fylde. It's not looking like a good night for Aldershot Town. Also, we may have missed it, however, after the second goal, Aldershot centre-back Cian Harries, number 4, was actually shown a second yellow for complaining to the referee. It's a great night for the 27 travelling Fylde supporters who are absolutely loving their life in the away stand at the moment. As it stands, it's AFC Fylde 3, Aldershot Town 0.
Amazing, thank you for that update. It's not looking like a good night for Aldershot Town this evening. We're going to cross straight over now to the Valley and Chloe Jones. Chloe, Charlton Athletic against Lincoln. What's going on down there?
So it's Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1. There's finally been a goal after a lot of close chances from both sides, especially a few shots on target for Charlton Athletic. But unfortunately, Lincoln is first to score. We had number 7, Riso Hackett Fairchild. He just managed to get the perfect touch on a cross and hit it in on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's a close game here, though. It's a close game. It could go either side.
Thank you very much, Chloe. So at the Valley, it is Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1. Nathan Jones not making the best start to life at Charlton. You know, they're sitting 20th in the league still. We're just going to run through back to our panel again.
Oh, what a tackle!
Jamie, what's gone on?
Jason Knight has just had 2 chances in about 90 seconds. He was played through by a Bristol City midfielder, and he's just really fluffed his touch on the edge of the box. And after a bit of attacking, he's had another shot that's gone through. But now Smallbone's in the penalty area. He's dinked it over, and O'Leary's made the save. But a quiet 22 minutes, and then 2 chances in pretty much 24 seconds over each other. But Saints now have a corner. Brooks was nearly bodied as he went through there. Slid the ball through to Smallbone, tried to lift it over, but O'Leary tested for the first time today, and Saints have their corner, but it's open, but still 0-0.
Oh, well, it sounded like a very back and forth game up in Bristol at Ashton Gate at the moment. We're going to cross over to the Southampton's rivals, Pompey, at the moment. Seems like there's been a goal down, but for who is that goal for, Chance?
For who? Not for Portsmouth. So it's Portsmouth 0, Cambridge 1. The ball come into the box on the corner, and Danny Andrew headed it into the goal. They weren't too sure whether it went over the line, but the goal's been given. Portsmouth 0, Cambridge 1.
Yeah, most of the time it's really difficult when those goals, you can't really tell where they go over the line, and obviously without that goal line technology in the EFL, we can't technically tell what's going on. Watford have got one back against Norwich in the Championship, so the scoreline there is Norwich 2, Watford 1. Birmingham Blackburn is still 0-0. Leicester 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday. Rotherham leading Hull 1-0. Swansea 0, Leeds 3. As we know, Bristol City, Southampton still 0-0. And West Brom are 1-0 up against Cardiff, as we know from Ollie Price. Any more Champions League updates for us this evening, gents?
Since Kevin De Bruyne scored earlier, it's been basically all Man City. A few chances here and there. Actually, a Copenhagen defender headed it onto his own bar, so you know could have been 2-0. Just a quick one from me. Substitution about 5 minutes ago. Jack Grealish came off injured, and on came Jeremy Doku.
Oh, wow.
So a bit of a change into the lineup. Jeremy Doku slots in on that left wing. Hopefully he can come on and cause some problems for that Copenhagen defence. Still 1-0 at Man City though.
Still 1-0 at Man City. I mean, you know, they're looking pretty comfortable, like you said, against Copenhagen, like you said, at the Park and Stadium. Do you think, you know, I mean, it's only Copenhagen, but, you know, still there's signs that they could possibly comfortably cruise through the Champions League this year?
Yeah, I mean, they're having a lot of the ball, they're having the majority of the possession, they look absolutely comfortable with. You know, Copenhagen have got 10 men behind the ball. It feels like, you know, a top of the table team versus a bottom of the table team. You know, Man City are having all of the chances. As I said, Copenhagen have got all 10 men back. And yeah, it's still 1-0. Copenhagen not really finding a way into the game, you know, struggling to get onto the ball, struggling to create anything really. As soon as they do win the ball, Man City are pressing them and trying to win it back as quick as they can. 27 minutes gone, still 1-0 Man City.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Leipzig still dominating, Freddie?
Yeah, Leipzig are actually still in control. Xavi Simons, he's probably been the best player on the pitch so far, on loan from PSG. So there's clearly a bit of talent there. But yeah, Real Madrid, they're good defensively, but they can't keep hold of the ball. There's not many Real Madrid players in the Leipzig half. And yeah, Leipzig look comfortable, but nothing really to report on. Still 0-0.
Still 0-0. Well, Jamie, anything more going on in that Bristol City-Southampton clash?
Well, it came to me earlier on, and I said there was a challenge through on Edozie, and it just showed it back to us, and it was a long ball forward directly from a Bazunu free kick on the edge of the box, and it's gone straight through to Edozie, and it just looked a bit like a coming together, but it's just been shown a replay, and Tanner pretty much just shoulder barges Edozie straight in the back. He cleans through on goal, so maybe a bit of contention about that. I didn't seem too much in it when it came first through, but looking at the replay, Bristol City might seem a bit lucky to still have 11 players on the pitch.
Well, you know, anything can happen in the Championship, as they say, with no VAR. We're going to move on to some League One scores as we near the half-time. Never mind, we're going to go to Aldershot now again with Callum Gill. Callum, anything to report or update us on here in the studio?
Tensions are heating up here. Aldershot seems to be getting slightly frustrated, and there are a lot of late tackles going in, which the fans are not happy about. Just a few moments ago, Witherington picked up a yellow card for the hosts, and Aldershot are now, they're cheering consecutive passes, but the fans are also singing, we're going to win 4-3. So if that's the case, maybe the second half will be a lot more updates from us. But as it stands, Aldershot 0, Clyde 3.
Thank you very much, Callum. Aldershot looking, you know, really below par there at the moment. And we're going to cross straight over to Chance Cromit in the studio for us reporting on Pompey against Cambridge. Chance, any more goals or Cambridge still 1-0 up?
We might have one right now. Ports have a penalty and they're taking it right now. Yengi was brought down in the box and he's taking it right now. Let's see, he's lining up. He's taking it. Oh. Come on. Will he put it in the corner? He's going to take it and he puts it away. Yengi, call as you like, puts it away. Portsmouth 1, Cambridge United 1. Back on level terms.
Perfect, thank you, Chance. So Portsmouth have equalised at home to Cambridge United. That penalty, normally a Colby Bishop role, but you know, Cassini Yengi back from playing for Australia over that international break, scoring for Pompey. He's looked really good so far this season. So, you know, Pompey equalised just before the half-time mark. Guys, you're about half an hour in over there. Who's looking on top of everyone's games? We know Red Bull Leipzig obviously looking pretty dominant. Any more chances on goal there at all, Freddie?
Absolutely nothing. It's been a bit scrappy. There's been a few Real Madrid players sort of kicking out at the Leipzig players. I'm surprised the referee hasn't actually given a booking because he's refereed 3 games so far in this competition. He's got 9 yellows, 2 red cards and 1 penalty. But he managed to keep his cards in his pocket for this one. But yeah, as I said before, there's not a lot going on. Real Madrid seem quite happy just to sit back at the moment and let Leipzig have the ball. But yeah, still 0-0.
Still 0-0 there. Nathan, anything to update us on at all?
Not particularly. Still 1-0 here in Denmark. One chance for Man City. Doku put in a looping ball into the box. Haaland got up high, got up really high and kind of swung a left foot acrobatically at it, but put it over the bar. That's the only sort of chance we've had since the goal. Still Man City and still 1-0.
Wow, no surprise there. Man City on top. Ollie Price. Never mind, we'll come back to you, Ollie. We're going to cross over to Leyton Orient. Apparently there's been another goal over there. Freddie, anything you can update us on?
Yeah, Millie, it's Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 1, and it's a fantastic strike from Mark Leonard. On just about the edge of just outside the area of the box, he rifled that ball into the bottom corner, past the dive and Sol Bryn. And it's just literally on the brink of half-time as well. So the half-time whistle has just gone. And it's Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 1. There's been a very action-packed sort of game here, very end-to-end. Both teams creating some good chances, but one player that stood out for me has got to be that young O'Neill of Leyton Orient. He's got his name on the goal sheet, and he's been winning the ball on the left-hand flank. And he seems just to be driving his team down the pitch every single time, which is sort of spurring them on to create some more opportunities.
Yeah, so there, Freddie, like you said, at half-time.
Northampton Town. Sorry, Millie.
That's all right. Leyton Orient, so like you said, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton 1. Do you reckon Leyton Orient can make that comeback in that second half after they've just equalised on that brink of half-time?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a gut-wrenching one for the players and Richie Wellens, but it depends on the team talks at half-time. They've changed drastically within those seconds before the half-time whistle. Honestly, it can go either way at the moment. Both teams are creating some great opportunities and look like scoring, so maybe, but yeah, it's go anyway.
You're going to get any half-time? Oh, we've had a goal. Never mind, Freddie. We're going to come back to you during half-time for a little update. But there's been a goal with Man City and Copenhagen. What's going on, Nathan Rawlings?
It is 1-0 here in Denmark. Copenhagen have scored. Had a couple of starting to get into the game, Copenhagen, and they had a quick chance. The ball, however, got back played to Ederson. Ederson tried to clear it, failed to clear it. Former Saints player El Nusi had a shot. It bounced back outside of the box. I'm not quite sure who scored yet. It looks like that is Ankerson, the right back, who's come in from the left flank and just whipped it with his right foot into the top corner. It's a great goal. To be honest, one against the run of play. That's poor from Ederson, who just kind of played it out there to El Nusi. 1-0 here in Denmark.
Yeah, it's not very often you see Ederson making a goal-keeping mistake like that, is it, Nathan? Well, we're going to cross back over to Freddie anyway, just to finish up that little half-time update. I was going to ask you, Freddie, you've been talking about this pie and mash before going up there for weeks now. Have you had it yet?
Unfortunately not, Millie. It is a delicacy here in East London, pie, mash and liquor. I've seen a lot of fans around the ground, dotted around the ground, eating it in their little white sort of trays. But unfortunately, I've not seen a food outlet, so I've not been able to taste any, which I'm quite gutted, to be honest, because I'm a man that likes my food. But yeah,
we know, Freddie, we know. I see you eating in those breaks at uni over here. I've also heard you've had some issues on the train as well, so not been the best day for you.
Yeah, there's been a lot of delays, especially in Southampton. Unfortunately, I think there's been a very serious incident in one of the stations. So yeah, and then followed by a train guard who was late to getting on the train. So that delayed the train by an hour.
Oh,
but
God.
we're here, so
you made it in the end,
thing.
didn't you? And we're glad you did. You're providing us with lots of entertainment so far this afternoon, Freddie, and hopefully we can have a little bit better of an evening for you if Leyton Orient managed to get that comeback and a little bit of excitement for you down in London. Well, we are going to cross back over to our panel now. In these championship games, Ollie, we didn't get to finish that little chat over there. Any more to update us on in that West Brom Cardiff game?
No, so it's West Brom 1, Cardiff City 0. West Brom finally have stretched their play and are keeping the ball quite rather nicely, actually. Sort of players just down right here, an injury. But yeah, it's been quite a dull affair after the first 10 minutes. So yeah, West Brom 1, Cardiff City 0.
Yeah, still not much to update us on in that West Brom game. Is it still 0-0 over at Bristol City, Jamie Oloshinsky?
Yep, still 0-0. Southampton really digging themselves in and being the better side so far. I mean, just as I'm speaking now, the Russell Martin way taking shape. Southampton have just played it completely across their back line, from Walker-Peters to Manning, and the centre halves are getting lots of touches. But just about five minutes ago or so, Charles made a barnstorming run through the centre of the pitch and fed Armstrong, who took a little touch, nutmegged his man, went for a shot, hit Viner's legs, fell to Armstrong yet again, who took another shot. It hit Viner's legs again and trickled out for a corner. But Armstrong posing the threat so far. Southampton just have the ball on the edge of the box, but get it clear. But still 0-0 here.
Still 0-0 at Bristol City against Southampton. We're going to cross over for a little half-time update to the EBB Stadium. Ben James is there for us at Aldershot against Fylde. Ben, anything to update us on at the half-time whistle?
Thanks, Millie. The half-time whistle was just blown here a minute ago. The last 5 minutes-ish, Aldershot looks to be getting back into the game. Laura Tollage, the Aldershot number 9, took the ball down the line, sprayed it into the box, and Josh Stokes' connection unfortunately rattled the top of the bar. However, it's looking a lot more positive for Aldershot at the moment, and hopefully the second half brings a bit more joy to their fans here. Thank you. It is AFC Fylde 3, Aldershot Town 0.
So Aldershot 3-0 down at half-time in the National League to Fylde. And we're going to cross over now to Stevenage and Nathan Potter as they host Bristol Rovers. Half-time, Nathan, is it still 2-1?
Yeah, still 2-1 here at the Lamex Stadium. Rovers started to come into the game towards the end of the half, but no real chances near the end. It was Kane Hemmings who opened the scoring for Stevenage from 12 yards. Following a rebound. Then Jake Foster-Kasky doubled their lead from about 6 yards out. And then Luke Thomas pulled on back for the gas from the edge of the area with an absolute corker into the top right-hand corner. Elkin Baggett has been replaced by Scott Sinclair in the first half as well for Rovers. It seems to be a change of system from a 3-5-2 to more of a 4-4-2 to the gas.
Nathan, have you made any friends up there in the press box at the Lamex Stadium? Have you made any friends up there in the press box at the Lamex Stadium? You seem to have got a little girlfriend behind you.
No, I haven't.
It's not Will Cope by any chance, is it?
No. You'll have to check them.
Oh, no worries. Thank you for that little half-time update there, Nathan. So it's 2-1 to Stevenage at half-time against Bristol Rovers in League One. Anything to update us on in those Champions League fixtures, guys, with only about 5 minutes to go until half-time?
I wish I did. I wish I had something to tell you. This game...
We said this at the start, at the start of the day.
They both have averaged over 2 goals a game in the Champions League this season. And Leipzig have never kept a clean sheet in the Champions League.
They must know you're watching, Freddie.
They must know. I've jinxed it. I know I have. And it's just all... It's quite 50-50 now. It's quite even, but no team has really made an attacking chance of any kind. It's sort of all in the middle of the pitch. And then when they suddenly do go forward, they like to go back again. So it's still 0-0 here.
Oh, Freddie. We knew your commentator's curse was gonna affect it somehow.
Yeah.
Oh God, Nathan Rawlings. Anything more to update us on in that Man City Copenhagen clash?
Yeah, still 1-0 here, 40 minutes gone. Copenhagen growing into the game. Just a correction on the goal scorer earlier. I said it was Ankersen. I got that wrong. It was the midfielder number 8, Magnus Madsen, who they signed from the Eredivisie in January. But yeah, as I was saying, Copenhagen growing into the game a little bit more. Still Man City with the majority of the possession, but there are a few more chances for the Danish sides. Looks to be an interesting one. Both sides are going to have to, give it more of a go now if they want to come away with this fixture with a win. 40 minutes gone, still 1-1.
And Jamie Olszynski down at the bottom of the panel there. Is Southampton creating any danger towards Bristol City this evening at all yet?
I mean, Southampton have had all the ball. I just saw a flash up. In the last 10 minutes, Southampton have had 84% of the ball. But they've had no chances from that. And we just saw a couple of moments ago, Conway was put through pretty much one-on-one. Bazunu has ran from pretty much his own touchline to the edge of the box, like in rapid. And he's come out and he's cleared the ball. He's taken nothing but the ball. He's taken the man out in the process and cleared away. And then just literally a few seconds after that, he's had the ball on the edge of his box, misplaced the pass. He's gone straight to a Bristol City player who's looked to go and drive against Kyle Walker-Peters. Kyle Walker-Peters has kind of pushed him as he's gone past. Referee not interested in the slightest. So no penalty, and Southampton just dilly-dallying with it on halfway. But really an open game so far, still 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, that unbeaten run, you said before the game, not looking like it's going to come to an end anytime soon. But, they've had, what is it? I know they're not at home tonight, but 11 wins out, 11 of their last home games have all been 100% win records for them there. Is it going to be any different for them away at Bristol City today, or will it be just a draw instead of another win for them tonight, do you think?
Based on the opening 41 minutes or so, I don't think they've massively threatened in a clinical area. Edozie has hit the bar with kind of a stabbed effort, as we see Smallbone now play it through to Edozie on the edge of the box again, but Tanner just intercepts. And the wingers that have been so crucial for him this season, for Russell Martin, haven't really been able to get into the game. So if I had to give you a score prediction, unluckily for my sake, I'm going to say it's going to continue 0-0.
Do you really think, come on, you've got to give us a little bit of excitement here. Beckham Mara hasn't started tonight, has he? He's done really well over the last couple of games, in my opinion. Do you reckon Russell Martin probably is likely to bring him on in the second half for a fresh pair of legs and maybe a goal or two?
You'd think so if it was 0-0. I mean, you look at the Watford game for a prime example. The first half of that game, he was absolutely electric, but with no end product, which has been a similar story for the Saints today. But the second half, as soon as he got that first shot on, that was a thunderbolt left foot straight into the top corner. If he can do that when coming on today, it'll be a great story. But really, no one looks like turning the key for Southampton at the minute.
No, clearly not. And we're going to go through all of the half-time scores now for you so far. Every game's pretty much reached a half-time point. So in the Championship, we've got Birmingham City 0, Blackburn Rovers 0, Leicester are 2-0 up at home to Sheffield Wednesday. Norwich are 2-1 up at home to Watford as well. Rotherham are leading 1-0 against Hull. Swansea are losing at home 3-0 to Leeds. Really doing quite poorly in the Championship so far this season. Bristol City, Southampton 0-0 as we know. West Brom Cardiff 1-0 as we know. Bolton are 1-0 up to Wickham at half-time. No shock there. Charlton are still losing to Lincoln at home. And we're going to cross to Chloe Jones for an update very shortly after we've gone through these half-time scores. Cheltenham are 1-0 up against Blackpool. Exeter are losing to Derby at home. Fleetwood Reading is scoreless. Leyton Orient are 1-1 against Northampton, as we know from Freddie Kilby. Oxford and Wigan is the same scoreline. Peterborough Port Vale, as we know, is postponed. Pompey Cambridge is 1-0 at half-time. Shrewsbury lead Barnsley 1-0 at half-time. And Nathan Potter has informed us that half-time at the Lamex has finished Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 0. And moving on down to League 2, Accrington Stanley AFC Wimbledon is 0-0 half-time. Barrow Forest Green is 1-1. Bradford are 2-0 up against MK Dons. Colchester Grimsby is postponed. Crawley are losing 1-0 to Walsall. Swindon are 1-0 up in that little clash that I informed you guys about earlier. Mansfield, bit of a shock scoreline there. I didn't even see that. Mansfield are 5-0 up against Harrogate.
Wow.
Bit of a surprise scoreline there. Notts County are 2-0 up against Newport. Salford Doncaster is 1-1. Stockport are losing 2-1 at home to Crewe Alexandra. Wrexham are 1-0 up against Sutton. Tranmere Rovers are 2-1 up against Morecambe. And that's pretty much all the half-time scores we've got for you. We're going to cross over to Chloe Jones now for a little half-time update for Charlton Athletic against Lincoln. Chloe, what have you got to say about that at half-time?
Yep, so as you said, it is still Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1. The atmosphere here is quite electric, especially from the Charlton fans on the left here of me. They've been very, very loud with all their chants and everything, and they're really rooting for their team to break that bad luck spell. So even with Lincoln winning, they're both showing dominance, and they're both really trying with all the chances that they're getting, especially with number 29 on Charlton Athletics team, which is Daniel Canoe. But he has also got the first booking of the game due to a foul on one of the Lincoln players. So it is tough to call it. Yeah, it is tough to call it, but I think it'll be a good second half.
Perfect, thank you, Chloe. So it is Lincoln are winning 1-0 at half-time here, but we have had a goal here in the studio in the Champions League. Nathan Rawlings, what update have you got for us over there?
Yeah, it is now Copenhagen 1, Manchester City 2. Kevin De Bruyne had it on the right wing, just outside the box. He goes to take on the Copenhagen player, is dispossessed, but the ball bounces off Kevin De Bruyne's leg and finds Bernardo Silva in the box, who pokes it home with his left foot past Kamil Grabara in the Copenhagen goal. The man who didn't start against Everton starts today and immediately makes an impact. It is Copenhagen 1, Manchester City 2.
Well, we were expecting this to happen, weren't we, Nathan?
We were.
We're going to cross over to Chance quickly for a little half-time report. Chance, what have you got to say about that little, 1-0 clash at half-time here?
Half-time, 0-0 still, Portsmouth and Cambridge. There's been quite a bit of controversy, though. Cambridge's goal through Danny Andrews. A lot of people at Fratton Park are saying it didn't actually cross the line, and of course, no goal line technology at this level. So there's that. And also, there was a booking for James Gibbons, who's actually made his debut for Cambridge today. And many people said that could be a red. It was a very rash tackle. So they're lucky to still have 11 men on the pitch. But yeah, 1-1 at half-time.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that little half-time update there, Chance. It looks like we've hit half-time in the Bristol City Southampton game as well. Jamie, what's your assessment of that one?
Very even, very scrappy, and still 0-0, to be honest. I mean, Adam Armstrong, again, has had a chance from pretty much the edge of the box where he's, again, somehow wriggled free. He's got magic feet on him. He's gone for a shot, but again, just a lack of any quality in a finish. It goes straight down the goalkeeper. Then again, Bristol City go straight down the other end and go for a shot. And it's bounced off of Jan Bednarek. And I tell you what, from the angle I'm looking at it, it looked like it just snuck in past Bazunu. If it hadn't, it went out for a corner, but it was, again, no end product to that whatsoever. Cleared away on the front post, would you believe, of professional football, and not able to beat the front post from a corner. But
yeah,
it's been
both of those teams.
A lack of quality from both sides so far, and Southampton and Russell Martin will have a lot of thinking to do going into the second half, still 0-0.
Yeah, both of those teams clearly not looking very clinical in that final third at the moment. Ollie, has your game hit half-time yet?
No, almost. It's been quite an even game. It's about 6 minutes of added time. 1 minute of added time. Read the board wrong.
It's a bit of a difference.
However, yeah, it's really open. It's crying out for someone to take it by the scruff of the neck and just find a bit of individual brilliance. Still 1-0 West Brom, but yeah, really even.
Really even, and Nathan, 2-1 to Manchester City at half-time. Is it looking like it's going to go in that scoreline at the Park in Denmark?
Yeah, the referee's just blown for half-time. It is still 2-1 Manchester City. The game is opening up a lot more now. Copenhagen having a lot more of the ball, getting forward a lot more, pressing the high up the pitch, giving Man City some problems. They still look fairly comfortable in possession, as you'd expect from this Manchester City side. But Pep Guardiola, will have a lot to think about at half-time with his side conceding a goal against the run of play. And conceding a lot more chances, but yeah, still 2-1.
Yeah, definitely that, the supposed best team in the world probably shouldn't be conceding to
Yeah,
Copenhagen in the Champions League. And Freddie, still 0-0 at half-time, not much to say.
Yeah, still 0-0 at half-time. Had that early goal that looked like it was going to be a really good and explosive game, but obviously that got disallowed. I think Real Madrid...
Teased us a bit too much there, didn't it?
They're definitely missing Jude Bellingham. Someone to sort of break the lines and play that killer pass. Real Madrid just need that, because when they're on the ball, they don't know what to do with it, and they keep going backwards. The managers did have a little clash at the end. Looked like there could have been a bit of an argument there. But that's
When
about
isn't there?
Exactly. But you know, when I'm talking about a little sort of argument, that's being the most exciting thing in the first half. I think that really says a lot. But it's still Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 0.
Yeah, you called it, didn't you? You called it. We're going to cross over to other Freddie now at Leighton Orient, which I believe the game has just kicked back off again there.
Yes, thank you, Millie. It has indeed kicked off here, and there's been an early change for Orient as defender Tom James been replaced by a fellow defender Rob Hunt. It looks like it could be a straight swap there. He did look like he was struggling a bit to sort of grow into the game. He was getting a lot of pressure down that sort of side. So I can see why Richie Wellens has decided to make that change there. But so far, not much has happened. But yeah, it's going to be quite an even affair, I feel like, in the second half. It's Leighton Orient 1, Northampton Town 1.
Perfect, thank you very much, Freddie. I'm hoping Leighton Orient can cause some excitement for you over there. Unlike Freddie's game with that really exciting 0-0 draw over there. Please, can you contact someone at the club and tell them to give us a little bit more? Come on. It's the return of the Champions League. We need stuff to talk about. We've had a few more games back off in the Championship. Leicester, Norwich, Rotherham, Swansea, obviously Bristol, West Brom, and still Birmingham Blackburn is still trying to kick back off at the moment. But I digress. Sorry, my laptop was going a bit funny. It was really distracting me for a second. Jamie, do Russell Martin's side look like they're going to come back out all guns blazing after half time?
You'd think so. I mentioned earlier about the Watford game when Sekumara, he played the first half, but when he came on and really came alive in the second half, I think that's going to be a similar thing. Russell Martin was touted as having the best team talk in the country when they came back out and won the second half 3-0, and he's going to have to use that to great effect again today, because it's just been lacklustre, would be the only word I could describe from both sets of players. No quality whatsoever. It feels like there's been one shot on target that was just straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. It came the way of Southampton, and the stats look more so in Southampton's favour, but they've just been caught on the counter-attack too many times. But again, Bristol City with some of the most poor crossing you'll ever see.
Yeah, it seems Russell Martin's side have really been. Russell Martin has really affected those half-time team talks so far this season. You know, they've had so many late winners with the likes of Ryan Fraser scoring those extra time goals, and obviously on Saturday them coming back and scoring 5 goals in the second half to win 5-3 against bottom of the table Huddersfield. He's such a great man manager, isn't he?
He is. I mean, you look at his record when the fact he's been at Milton Keynes Dons, he's been at Swansea, and he's gone up to Southampton. You look at that, and it's been somewhat linear. You'd say Swansea's a bit of a step up from MK Dons, but you come into Southampton, good appointment, and he's done absolute wonders. And just watching a replay now of that Adam Armstrong chance, he could have done a lot better, but I'm sure Russell Martin will be telling him, maybe kindly, maybe not too kindly, at the minute that shot wasn't good enough. But it's not been bad play from either side. It's been the Russell Martin way of just passing it along that back line, right-hand side to left-hand side, waiting for an opportunity. A lot of those opportunities have fallen the way of Adam Armstrong, but really just not good enough. And I know Russell Martin can't do too much about the players on the pitch, but maybe would think about a change, introducing the like of Sekumara, who we know can find the back of the net in pressure situations.
Yeah, especially coming on as a substitute. I think that's definitely the way he works most effective. We've also got some Champions League games tomorrow night as well. We've got Lazio against Bayern Munich and PSG face Real Sociedad. Have you guys looked much into those games? Do you think Harry Kane will come back into the Champions League all guns blazing for Bayern Munich and put a couple past Lazio tomorrow?
It's Harry Kane, isn't it? He can score against anyone on his day. I think Bayern Munich are one of the favourites to probably win the competition. They're not doing so well in the Bundesliga, but that might, turn your attention to winning the Champions League, because Kane moving there, you don't want another trophyless season, especially when Bayern Munich always win one. But it looks like that is their best chance of winning it. So I think Bayern Munich will get the win there. And I think they're probably my favourites to win the tournament.
Yeah, 100%. And we're going to cross over to Nathan Potter now at Stevenage, who's got a little thumbs up on his screen. I don't know why he's got that. I don't know what happened there. We're going to cross over to the Lamex Stadium now. Stevenage, Bristol Rovers has probably just kicked back off. Anything to report, Nathan Potter?
7 minutes gone so far in the second half. It's Stevenage who have started the better out of the two sides once again. Stevenage with a few good chances and have forced the save out of Jed Ward a few minutes ago, where he had to put it behind for a corner. But Rovers now starting to slowly get into the second half, and it's a ball in. Scott Sinclair Plays it to Chris Martin. Oh, it's clear off the line! Chris Martin has it going from about 18 yards out, and it's been cleared off the line by Carl Piagiani as it is Craig McGillivray who looked to be beaten at his near post.
Nathan, I don't really understand what's just happened there. Can you give us a bit more description of what's just gone on? It sounds very exciting.
Well, Jack Hunt's whipped the ball into the penalty area from the right-hand side touchline, but it's gone over everyone's head. Found Scott Sinclair at the back post, who's then laid off to Chris Martin, and his effort has been cleared off the line by Stevenage captain Carl Piagiani.
Oh, Nathan, I tell you what, it sounds like a proper exciting game there at Bristol, as Bristol Rovers travel to Stevenage today. Has something else happened?
Stevenage fans, well, I believe Rovers fans claiming for a foul on struck Chris Martin, but nothing given. Play's been waved on, and now Rovers look to build forward once again on the far side. And yeah, so far, 53 minutes gone, Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 1.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Nathan. We'll come back to you for any more score updates throughout the second half. Like you said, second half so far, Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 1, and have West Brom Cardiff kicked back off yet, Ollie?
No, it's still half-time. Again, I'll say this again, I think Aaron Ramsey should be coming on at half-time. It's crying for someone to just take the game by the scruff of the neck and score a goal, and hopefully get Cardiff the equaliser, I'm hoping.
Yeah, it's a big week for the Championship so far this season, isn't it? I mean, this is probably the busiest time of the league coming up, and we can bring all of you guys in on this if you really want. Yeah, there's a few more games tomorrow. Huddersfield, Sunderland, Plymouth, Coventry, Preston, Middlesbrough, a really crunch sort of fixture there. Stoke QPR, a big game at the bottom half of the table, and Millwall, Ipswich. So we'll see what happens with that tomorrow evening. We're going to cross back over to Aldershot File with Callum Gill and Ben James. Callum, anything to update us on so far in the second half?
It's been a quiet first couple of minutes. I say that as the fans have just overshouted me. A couple of niggly free kicks again. The frustration is still there. We've had one chance when Horton went through 1v1 with the goalkeeper, rounded him. It looked like there was contact, but the referee giving nothing. The fans still in fine voice as their sides trail 3-0 still here at home.
So it looks like it's really going to be a poor evening for Aldershot tonight. By the sounds of it, you know, like I said, like I was just talking about before we crossed over to Aldershot, it looks like it's going to be a really busy couple of months in the Championship. Really, really intense couple of weeks. What do you guys think? Do you have any score predictions for tomorrow, Jamie? Huddersfield, Sunderland. You know, Huddersfield put up a really good fight up against Southampton on the weekend. Do you think they could pull one on Sunderland?
Well, you'd hope so. You'd hope that Huddersfield have the fight in them. Obviously, going 2-0 up away at one of the best teams in the league will give you some confidence that they have the ability to do that. But I just don't think they've got the overall quality to be able to maintain that. Sunderland, been a bit of an up and down team, haven't they? Obviously,
definitely.
At the minute, 3 games unbeaten, but they don't really seem to know when they want to win. Obviously, they romped Saints by 5 goals, so they know they do have the quality, but it's going to be a tight one. And with most of the sides in and around the playoffs winning at the minute, other than Saints, of course, it's going to be a tall order. And as it stands, the playoffs is Norwich, West Brom, Ipswich, and Saints. Because of Leeds winning, Saints actually fall into the playoff positions as it stands. So it is absolutely tight round there, but you can't predict the game in the Championship at this season.
No, you definitely can't. It's one of the most unpredictable leagues, obviously, along with the Premier League so far this 2023-24 campaign. We're going to cross back over to Freddie Kilby now at Brisbane Road. Freddie, any more to update us on about 10 minutes into the second half?
Nothing really too important here. I mean, Northampton have made a substitution. Ben Fox has replaced Dom Gape in midfield, so probably a pair of fresh legs to sort of keep that energy tempo up. The high tempo, sorry. There's been a quite nice link-up play between Idris El Mizouni and O'Neill on that left flank. But again, the delivery into the box got cleared away, so nothing too important there. It's really a second half full of half chances so far, with both teams looking to score another goal to put themselves into the lead.
Sounds like a game full of half chances there, Freddie. We're going to cross straight over to the National League and Aldershot. It sounds like the day, or should I say the evening, just keeps getting worse for Aldershot tonight. Ben, what more can you tell us about that?
Yes, Millie, you are definitely correct. It is now AFC Fylde 4, Aldershot Town 0. It is not looking good at all. Aldershot have just also brought on a striker to bolster their attacking options, but at this rate, it's not looking like they're going to need him. It's a poor performance, to be honest, from Aldershot Town tonight against a side that are fighting relegation. It's just, I don't know. It's not a good night to be an Aldershot Town FC fan. It's AFC Fylde 4, Aldershot Town 0.
Yeah, like you said, that after that evening just keeps getting worse and worse if you're an Aldershot fan. Just another scoreline to update you on, actually. Like I said, it was 5-0 to Mansfield Town up against Harrogate at half-time. It's now Mansfield 6, Harrogate 2. So, 8-goal thriller so far, and it's only 56 minutes in. So we'll keep you up to date with all the scores in that league. For the rest of the evening, we're going to move our attention back over to the Champions League now again. Either of your games kick back off at all?
Mine's not just yet, no. It's still showing the analysis at half-time, but by the looks of it, I wish I was at the non-league game at Aldershot.
This would be a lot more exciting for you,
Just the non-league's better than the Champions League at this rate. But yeah, it's kicking off soon, but not just yet.
I think Jamie Olshinsky on the end of the panel would certainly agree with you that non-league's better than National League, wouldn't you? I've got your name for a second. Oh, Nathan. Oh, never mind. Actually, apparently, we'll come back to you in a second, okay. Nathan. We've had a goal back again at Leyton Orient, so we're going to cross back over to Freddie Kilby. Freddie, what's going on?
Yeah, literally, since I started talking to you, Millie, it has exploded. And it's a home side that have taken a 2-1 lead thanks to the striker Shackford, and that man is on fire. His 9th league goal of the season. And it was a deflected, the shot sort of came into, it wasn't saved by the goalkeeper. It fell to the back post where Shackford was lurking, and he hit the ball, struck the ball into that corner. And the home side absolutely ecstatic here. And also the substitution, Darren Pratley seems to be coming on, but looks like it might be Jordan Brown here. So another fresh pair of legs on for Leyton Orient as they look to keep that tempo up and look to retain that lead. It's Leyton Orient 2, Northampton Town 1.
Yeah, Freddie, you said the goal scorer was Shakai Ford. Is he someone who's scored a lot so far this season, or is that a bit of a shock for, like you said, goal of the season, perhaps?
Yeah, I did say that he's been in fine form so far, and they've just missed again in Leyton Orient, the home side. But no, Shackford's been in great form this season. He's scored a lot of goals recently, and his 9th goal of the season just came today. So he's a man in fine form. So not a shock to me or others at home.
Yeah, as you said, he's looking unbelievable. He's only 19 years old. In fact, born later than I was, actually, 5th of May 2004. Same age as you, in fact, actually, pretty much bang on. Why aren't you on that picture, Leyton Orient, down there?
Yeah, scary really. I think he's about a month younger than me, which is quite scary to think about. I wish I was on that pitch, but unfortunately I don't have enough talent like he does. But he's absolutely thriving at Leyton Orient, and it seems like a great club for him to develop his skills. He seems to be growing really well. It's Leyton Orient 2, Northampton Town 1.
Oh, Freddie, I've seen you dance on a night out. I'm definitely sure you do have that talent down there. Oh, goodness. We're going to cross back to Jamie on the end of our panel here. Is the game kicked back off? What's going on down there?
The game has literally just kicked back off Bristol City with the kick-off. But interesting, we were talking about Russell Martin having decisions to make, and he's pulled the plug on Shay Charles. So Shay Charles has gone off. Stuart Armstrong has come on. You'd say it's a like-for-like change in terms of central midfielders, but Stuart Armstrong much more the attacker. And I tell you what, Adam Armstrong's just picked up on a loose ball on the edge of the box. He's laid it off to Edozie inside the penalty area. It's flashed across goal, and a Southampton player, who's David Brooks, comes charging in, and he's collided with the post. Hasn't gone in, and Edozie's cross has gone wide. But Saints inside 40 seconds with a golden opportunity. David Brooks did collide with the post, sliding on through, but Bristol City making that mistake, sliding it across to Edozie was Armstrong, and Brooks is about a yard away from getting there and actually meets inside the post. So I'll come back to you on his injury update, but still goalless.
Yeah, please keep us updated on that, Jamie. It just seems that Southampton cannot find the back of the net tonight. But we're going to cross back over to Aldershot now in the National League. I believe Callum Gill has an update for us. Callum, what's going on down at Aldershot?
At the minute, it is all AFC filed. They've gone 4-0 up and the game has just gone very flat. They've had an opportunity once more down the right-hand side of the ball, about 6 yards out, hit with a header, straight at the goalkeeper, unfortunately. Fine form for the away side. This will be 7 games unbeaten if they can hold on to this 4-0 lead. But as it stands, 4-0 and looking comfortable.
Yeah, no, it seems like Fylde are going to take that victory very comfortably this evening in the National League. Just going to run through a few championship scores so far. Everything's pretty much the same. Leicester 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Norwich 2, Watford 1, Rotherham 1, Hull 0, Swansea 0, Leeds 3, just knocking Southampton off that second place in the championship at the moment. Bristol City, Southampton still 0-0, and West Brom, as we know, 1 up against Cardiff. And we're going to cross back over to League One now at the Valley with Chloe Jones. Chloe, what's happening over there? Anything to update us on?
So it is still Charlton Athletic 0, Lincoln City 1, but this half has been full of chances. I also got the attendance, which is over 12,000 people, and there's only 500 Lincoln fans. So as you can imagine, the atmosphere is just roaring with Charlton hopes for it to get an equaliser.
Chloe, I'm not great with geography, to be honest. How far away is Lincoln from Charlton? Honestly, I tell you, my geography knowledge is horrific. So, is there a reason for there only being 500 Lincoln fans down at Charlton? Is it a capacity problem, or is it because it's quite far to go on a Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be something to do with the travel, especially with the issues on the trains at the moment. But yeah, Lincoln, I would say, is probably about 3-4 hours. So
yeah, it doesn't sound like the journey I want to make on a Tuesday night.
But yeah,
really.
as I said, it's still Charlton 0, Lincoln City 1.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Chloe, for that little score update there. We'll keep coming back to you if there are any more goals. And we're going to cross over to where there has been a goal now at Fratton Park with Chance Crovick, who's live in the studio for us. Chance, who's there been a goal for?
The deadlock has been broken. Portsmouth 2, Cambridge 1. It was a lovely bit of play. Miles Clark-Harris has been great the whole game. And he tucks it away coolly and smoothly. 2-1 Portsmouth.
Perfect, Chance, thank you. So Pompey flying high again up against Cambridge in League One, putting them another 3 points up in that league so far. Freddie, we finally got the goal. What's gone on in that Champions League?
3 minutes in, and it's a bit of magic that we needed in this game. Brahim Diaz, the one that's come in to replace Jude Bellingham, who gets all the goals for Madrid, he's coming in from the left-hand side. He rides 3 challenges before just curling it into the top left corner. It's a brilliant goal, and it's definitely a bit of magic we needed, and I finally have seen a goal. So it's RB Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very happy for you that you have seen a goal, Freddie. Very happy for you indeed. And we're going to cross back over to some more League One action now with Nathan Potter at Stevenage. Stevenage against Bristol Rovers in League One. Nathan, anything to update us on at the Lamex Stadium at all?
It's a goal for Bristol Rovers as it's 2-2 now, 65 minutes gone. And it's cut back from Scott Sinclair on the touchline to Chris Martin, who's about 6 yards out and is able to put it home. 65 minutes gone, Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 2.
So that sounds like just sort of the equaliser you wanted there, Nathan Potter. Does it look like Bristol Rovers are going to be able to pull it back this evening?
Already done.
Never mind, we can find out more from Nathan Potter soon, who's at the Lamex Stadium for us this evening. Any more Champions League action to update us on? Nathan Rawlings, anything to update in that Man City game?
Not yet, not for now, sorry. 48 minutes gone, still 2-1 Man City. Slightly more end-to-end as Copenhagen now have just put ball into the box that has been out for a corner. Yeah, a little bit more end-to-end. Both teams in for a fair amount of the ball. No changes made at half-time, so it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out. Still 2-1 Man City.
It sounds like a fresh pair of legs could be needed there in that Champions League clash. And we're going to cross back over to Aldershot now in the National League. If there's been any more goals for Aldershot, I think if there's been any more goals for Fylde, I think the Aldershot fans might have to make their way home. What a dreadful evening it must be for those fans down there in the wet and the cold. What's going on is Callum and Ben.
Millie, the fans are still here, but they are a lot more quiet for obvious reasons. Nothing much is going on in the game. I think they're getting quite frustrated, but AFC Fylde are holding on and seeing out the game quite well. So as it stands, it is still 4-0 to AFC Fylde.
Perfect, thank you very much. We're going to cross back over to Nathan Potter now again as well. Nathan, what's going on over there? I heard there's been a goal.
It's turned around for Bristol Rovers. They now lead 3-2 here, and it's an absolute screamer from Anthony Evans from about 30 yards out, and it's nestled into the top left-hand corner. Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 3, 67 minutes gone.
Oh, amazing, thank you very much there, Nathan. We've had a goal here in the studio as well. Jamie Olszynski. Is it Bristol City or Southampton that have taken the lead?
It's Bristol City, so both Bristol sides are scoring within the space of a minute, but it was, again, poor defensively from Saints. Mehmeti down the right-hand side has just absolutely got in behind Manning, and he's just put it straight across the 6-yard box, and Sam Bell in at the far post could do nothing but score there. So Bristol City have the lead 7 minutes into this first half, and in a match they've looked rather quiet in.
Gutting, maybe looks like Southampton could lose out on that unbeaten run this evening, but we'll have to wait and see as we go back over to Freddie Kilby at Leyton Orient. Freddie, has there been another goal for us, or are you just giving us a little update?
No, just a little update from me, Billy. It's still Leyton Orient 2, Northampton Town 1. But Orient midfielder Ethan Galbraith has literally just kept his side in the lead. And it's a fantastic block just inside the box. It looked like denied a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and the Cobblers will be disappointed that they couldn't capitalise on it. But a really brilliant block from the young man to keep Orient 2-1 in the lead.
Well, it sounds like an incredible block there at Leyton Orient to keep their side in the lead. We'll keep going back to Freddie Kilby for more updates throughout the evening. We're going to cross back over and have a little chat about West Brom Cardiff now. Is it still 1-0 over there, Ollie?
Yeah, still West Bromwich Albion 1, Cardiff City 0. There's nothing really to report. There's been a couple cards in the game. Rebecca Welsh, who's overseeing the game, has varnished 2 yellow cards. Nothing really to add. I think both teams, they haven't played badly, but they haven't exactly played well. So it's been quite a
dull game.
Dull affair, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, hopefully it sparks up in a bit. But yeah, Cardiff City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Yeah, it looks like there's not much going on in these games tonight. We've picked a really poor night to do this, lads. Especially for you, Freddie, and Ollie down on our panel here. Not much to report, unfortunately. But yeah, Saints 1-0 down. Does it look like it's? Do you guys think it's going to be the end of that unbeaten run tonight?
I mean, in terms of how Southampton have played so far in this game, they've just looked absolutely lacklustre. I've used that word about 4 or 5 times now, but it was. And when you got shown the replay of the Bristol City goal, it was Mehmeti who was right down in the corner on the right-hand side, and he's flicked the ball backwards to the Bristol City midfielder, and Smallbone has tried to intercept it, but he's kicked the ball backwards. It's gone straight through the legs of his teammate Manning, and Mehmeti's got hold of it the other side. He was in an offside position, but of course, because it's come off of Will Smallbone, he's not offside, so he could carry on, and then the cross comes straight in through Bednarek's leg and goes off of Sam Bell's leg and goes into the back of the net. So a poor defensive mistake from Southampton, which I said could cost them their unbeaten run, as they really don't look like getting forward.
By the sounds of it, it's not going to be 26 unbeaten for Southampton. But back now, we're going to cross back to the National League. Ben James, do you have any update for us of Aldershot against Fylde?
Thanks, Millie. No, it's still AFC Fylde 4, Aldershot Town FC 0 here at EBB Stadium. However, they almost made it 5 if it wasn't for a last-ditch challenge by Cody Road, Aldershot centre-back, who cleared it off the line. Apart from that, all I can say is it's all Fylde. Attack after attack after attack, it's all Fylde. Aldershot look like they do not know how to deal with them at all. It's still AFC Fylde 4, Aldershot Town 0 here at EBB Stadium.
Yeah, I'm surprised some of those Aldershot fans haven't actually left that ground. If that was me and my team were losing 4-0 in the National League in the rain, I probably, to be honest, would have got in my car and driven home by now. But, you know, that's just me. But yeah, that's just me. I personally couldn't stand out there in the rain, in the boggy for all that time just to watch my team lose. Freddie, Nathan, anything to update us on in the Champions League at all? Anything happening that we need to know about?
My game, very sort of even at the moment. Real Madrid are starting to get a bit more of the ball. We've had the first yellow card of the game, which has gone to Simican. He's actually quite a lucky boy because he pushed Carvajal in the face, and the referee didn't see it. The linesman then told him, and he did get booked for a yellow. But I think if the referee saw that, he could have given a red, because it was a bit there's a bit of violence behind it. It wasn't just a little push. There was quite a bit of aggression behind it. But right now, Leipzig are on the ball, trying to start an attack, but Real Madrid look quite comfortable.
Yeah, do you think that's the kind of issue that deserves a red card in these sort of games?
He's definitely lucky. I think I'm surprised VAR didn't get involved, to be honest. They didn't say that they were checking it. But yeah, he's a very lucky boy, and I do think he could be substituted in a minute because he's marking Vinicius Junior, and obviously we know what he can do. So yeah, I don't think he'll be on the pitch for much longer, but whether that's being sent off or whether he's being taken off, we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we said earlier, there's going to be some more Champions League action tomorrow night. We've already spoken about Bayern Munich travelling to Lazio and the impact that Harry Kane could have on there. I believe PSG are also playing in the Champions League tomorrow night. What kind of fixture is that going to be? Have you guys looked into that at all?
It looks to be a big fixture for both sides. Real Sociedad exceeding expectations, particularly in the Champions League. They had a tough group in the group stages, but it looks to me that PSG will be far superior. They've got the talent, they've got the star power, Mbappe, and the likes. So yeah, definitely be an interesting one, and definitely one to watch.
Yeah, I feel like this round of 16 is definitely where it gets really down to those sort of crunch ties. It's all about who you draw. It's all about how far you can get in this competition. I haven't necessarily looked at the path of play to the final, but does it look like Man City might get an easy run till the end to the final?
Well, I guess it depends who they. I mean, they've got to first of all get past Copenhagen, which
yes, they can
right
do that,
now it looks like they'll be doing that. But yeah, it all depends on that draw after this round. It'll be interesting. There'll still be some incredible teams in the tournament. So yeah, definitely be one to watch out for.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm just going to go through some more of those League One scores for you now at the moment. So it's Bolton are still 1-0 up against Wickham, so trying to push for those promotion places again in League One. Burton Carlisle was postponed, as we saw with Jamie Somerville earlier today. There's been a goal at Charlton as well, but we'll have to wait a minute and see and go back to Chloe Jones over there in just a second when we can get hold of her. Cheltenham are still 1-0 up against Blackpool. Derby are winning 3-0 away to Exeter, who are in a poor run of form at the moment. And we're going to cross back now to Chloe Jones, who's at Charlton Athletic for us. Chloe, what's it looking like? There seems to have been a goal over there.
Yeah, so it's Charlton Athletic 1, Lincoln City 1. There's been a goal by a late substitution. He just got subbed on a few moments ago. Number 14, Ladapo. He just came straight on and gave them the equaliser. It was from the outside of the box and it just shot straight in.
Yeah, the guy behind you, Chloe, looks really sort of interested in what's going on at the moment. I'm not sure quite what he's up to. He looks like he's just chilling out and relaxing sort of back there.
I suppose that's part of being on the Charlton side. It's all very intense looks over here.
Quite disappointed. Maybe Charlton can pull it back this evening. We'll have to see. We'll come back to you soon for another update.
Yep, so it's Charlton Athletic 1, Lincoln City 1.
Perfect, thank you. That's Chloe Jones at the Valley over there. We've also had another goal in League One over at Fratton Park. Chance, can you tell us more about that?
3-1 Portsmouth. Kamara, what a goal. Honestly, just on the outside of the box, he curls it into the far corner and Fratton Park erupts. What a goal. Portsmouth 3, Cambridge 1.
Yeah, Abu Kamara really pulling through for Pompey there at the moment. He's been a main part of that sort of promotion-chasing team so far in the league this season. Just to run through the rest of those League One scores for you at the moment. As we know, Leyton Orient are still 2-1 up against Northampton, and Fleetwood Reading is still 0-0 as well there. Oxford are 2-1 up against Wigan, and there's actually just been a goal. Ruben Sellers' Reading are 1-0 up now against Fleetwood away to Fleetwood Town, and Pompey 3-1 up to Cambridge United. Shrewsbury are winning 1-0 at Barnsley, and Stevenage Bristol Rovers. I think there's been a goal there as well, but we'll have to see with Nathan Potter in a minute. Jamie, anything to update us on in that championship fixture at the moment?
Not really. Southampton did have a brief flirt with a counter-attack a few moments ago. Adam Armstrong, after a Bristol City corner, actually. It was a long ball onto Adam Armstrong on the halfway line, slightly left of centre. And he's picked the ball up, and there's the on-rushing Sam Edozie coming through on the right-hand side, but he just can't quite swivel and find him. And Bristol City have just had a corner that has worked out to absolutely nothing. So 61 minutes gone. Bristol City 1, Southampton 0. It doesn't really look like changing that way.
No, only sort of roughly half an hour left of that game, and it looks like Southampton could lose that unbeaten run, as we were saying earlier on. And just to rattle through some more League Two scores for you, Accrington Stanley are 1-0 up against AFC Wimbledon. Forest Green are winning 2-1 away at Barrow. Bradford are winning 4-0 at home to MK Dons. Colchester against Grimsby is postponed. Crawley against Walsall is 1-0, is 1-1, as well as Gillingham Swindon. Mansfield Harrogate. Mansfield are winning 7-2 now away at Harrogate. The goals just keep on coming in that game. Newport are losing 3-0 to Notts County. Salford are losing 2-1 to Doncaster. Crewe are winning 3-1 away at Stockport, and Sutton are losing 1-0 away to Wrexham. Tranmere are winning 2-1 away to Morecambe. Just another talking point, actually. Wrexham doing so well in League Two, only just being promoted last year, guys. It just shows how much money can do for a football club. I mean, come on, Ollie, you're from Wales, as we know. You're our Welsh man here. Do you know much about Wrexham and their history at all, and how they've gotten to this point?
Yeah, of course. I've actually been to Wrexham. It's a really, really well-run club. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds and Paul McAnally has invested into it. And it's not even just the money they put into it. It's the coverage, the investment in the community as well that's really taking their club to the next level. I can definitely see them climbing the leagues, maybe even to the championship in maybe 5 to 10 years. Definitely.
Okay, well, that's a bold prediction from you, Ollie. Bold prediction. But, to be fair, I can see that happening as well. And we're going to cross over back now to Freddie Kilby at Leyton Orient. Freddie, there's been a goal, hasn't there? Please tell us some more about it.
Yeah, it is Leyton Orient 2, Northampton Town 2, and what a strike it was from Kieran. I'll come back to me with another name. But yeah, he struck a lovely half volley, a bullet into that bottom corner. I'll double check his name for you in a minute. I had it in my mind, but it's escaped me a little bit there. But it was an absolutely brilliant shot from him, and he's put the Cobblers level in this game. Absolutely remarkable here. It's Leyton Orient 2, Northampton Town 2.
Freddie, it sounds like you're at a proper exciting time in League One. And we're just going to cross back over now. So thank you very much for that, Freddie, over at the Brisbane Road. And we're just going to cross over now back to the National League and Aldershot Town. Oh, never mind. We're going back to Freddie. We're going back to Freddie. Freddie, come back. Freddie, come back. It sounds like you've had another goal. What's going on?
Yeah, but as soon as I was talking to you, it's Leyton Orient have taken the lead again. It's now 3-2. I did not see the goal, nor did I see the goal scorer. But I'm sure it's remarkable as the home crowd erupted right behind me. What a game I've got here. Leyton Orient 3, Northampton Town 2.
Oh, Freddie Kilby, you rock my world. Please come back to us with some more details on that goal when you get the chance. We're going to cross now back over to Aldershot, where I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm hoping Ben James can update us.
Thanks, Billy. Unfortunately, not too much to report back on right now. The last 5 minutes, Fowler has slowed the game down a lot. Obviously, they have the extra man. In fact, I think I can hear a few olays coming from the away supporters between each pass, which is embarrassing for Aldershot, to be frank. It's still here, it's still AFC File 4, Aldershot Town 0.
Ben, can you give us a little ole, 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 ole? Ben, can you
I think you can hear the home fans in the background are actually the ones singing the olays. My mistake. They're 4-0 down and still singing the olays. So you've got to give it to them.
Ben, can you give us a little rendition of it, please?
Sorry, Billy, say that again.
Can you give us a little rendition? I want to hear you sing then.
A little olay?
Yeah.
Olay, 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 olay.
Oh, no, I think that's what we're getting from Ben. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ben. We're going to go back to Freddie to get an update on that third goal for Leyton Orient. Freddie, what more have you got to tell us this evening?
So, as I had a bit of a moment there where I couldn't see the goal, the lovely gentleman next to me has told me that the ball was crossed in from O'Neill and Royal Soteria got his head on it to put the home side in the lead. So that's now an assist to O'Neill's name in this match, and his first one of the season as well. And that substitute Royal Soteria, well, he just can't stop scoring goals. He's been scoring multiple times now for Leyton Orient for years. It is Leyton Orient 3, Northampton Town 2 in East London.
Perfect. Thank you very much for updating us on that third, Freddie. We shall come back to you, which I'm sure there's going to be some more goals for you over there at Brisbane Road, Freddie. Anything to update us on over there, panel? Anything going on in the Champions League, the Championship? What more can you tell me?
Saints have made a sub. Sekou Mara is on. We talked about it. Last time he spoke to me, actually, it was David Brooks who collided with the post. He seemed to be all right after a little bit of treatment. He has now gone off with Sekou Mara coming on. Bristol City have made 2 changes. Both the goal scorer and the birthday boy of Bell and Knight, respectively, have gone off, with Garda Hickman and Cornick coming on. Also involved in that was Zach Viner. He was booked for a challenge on a Saints player, and replay suggests he's won the ball. Not only has he won the ball, he's not even touched the man, so the Saints player going over a little bit overzealously, but nothing really to report on in the way of chances in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. So still Bristol City 1, Southampton 0.
Yeah, so it's still looking like over there, Southampton still can't find the back of the net, and if they can't, Russell Martin will be very disappointed in this side over there. I've just heard another update from that crazy League 2 game. Mansfield 9, Harrogate 2. The goals just seem to keep going in over there. There's not really much more I can say about this. I don't know if anyone's had any hat-tricks. We've got Boateng scoring a hat-trick actually today so far. Goals flying in here, there and everywhere over at Mansfield Town. Champions League, anything more to update us on, guys?
Mine seems pretty normal service resumed. Neither team seem like they want to score a goal. We did have one opportunity where Leipzig, they made a mistake, and Vinicius Junior played in Rodrigo, but he skied a shot way over the bar. It wasn't even close.
There's just not much going on.
Yeah, they are on the attack now. It looks like it's a 4-on-4. Camavinga's bringing it through from the centre of the pitch. He's played it out wide to Rodrigo.
Freddie, I'm really sorry. We're going to have to go back to other Freddie now at the moment. There seems to have been another goal. I can't tell you. I'm really excited to see the evening that Freddie Kilby's having right now. What more can you tell us over at Bristol Road, Freddie?
Yes, Millie, I'm really struggling to keep up with this game, and it's a goal for the visitors, 3-0, and it's horrible defending from Leyton Orient. The ball's bouncing around in the box, no defender can take control of it, and that's where another super sub came into play. I've got his name again. I'm really bad at this, but I looked at his name. But yeah, super sub striker, and yeah, he sort of took opportunity and fired that ball into the top corner. What a goal! I'll come back to you with his name.
Quite clearly, the late train and lack of pie and mash was worth it for you.
Yeah, of course, Millie, but it is not great in my memory at the moment, as it keeps escaping me. But I'm sure this match makes it a lot worth it. All the delays, it's a great game.
It's all worth it, Freddie. It's all worth it. We're going to cross over to another League One side now. I believe there's been another goal at Bristol Rovers away to Stevenage. Nathan Potter, what more can you tell us?
No goal here, but Stevenage have made a triple change to level the score at 3-3, as it's Jordan Roberts, Kane Hemmings, and both off along with Jake Foster-Caskey for Nesta Guinness-Walker, Ben Thompson, and for Dane Oliver. They had a chance a few minutes ago to level it, but it came off the post, and that's it for now.
No worries, Nathan. So still 3-2 over there. 2-3 over at Stevenage, Bristol Rovers. And we're going to cross straight back over to Aldershot now. I believe there's been a disallowed goal. What more can you tell us, Callum?
Cheers, Millie. AFC Fylde are currently feeling themselves at the minute. They are playing some lovely football, really frustrating Aldershot. This play came from the goalkeeper, played out to the left back, some really nice intricate passing down the left-hand side, back across to the middle, across to the right-hand side, the ball beautifully fizzed in, headed in by Norton, but the linesman's flag immediately up, offside. But they are really enjoying their football out here today. It is AFC Aldershot 0, AFC Fylde 4.
Perfect, thanks so much, Callum. It seems like Fylde are really flying in that game away to Aldershot at the moment. And we're going to head straight back to Freddie Kilby at Leyton Orient, who just can't get enough of what's going on over there at the moment.
Yes, thank you, Mia. I just want to apologise to... Northampton Town had a great opportunity at the back post. It looked like Mitchell Pinnock with the ball, but he's absolutely scuffed his shot. I don't know how he hasn't scored and put the Coppolas into the lead. But I do want to apologise, to Tyree Simpson, who was a substitute that scored the equaliser for Northampton Town. So a very dramatic match here, and I'm sure I'll have more to report for you later.
Me too, Freddie. I'm sure you'll have much more to report for us, and I'm sure that that substitute will really appreciate that apology from you over there. Just some more. Oh, it seems like there's something going on over at Southampton. Jamie Oleshinsky.
There's been a shot, there's been a corner, not too sure. It's Conway that was breaking away from the left-hand side, so there's a Bristol City corner. Not sure if you know more than I do on a delayed stream, but realistically not too much happening in the way of Saints attack in this second half. Just seeing the replay of this counter from Bristol City now, a good few step overs and a block, and Harwood Bellis on the floor to make the block shot. Gavin Bazunu not really troubled in the second half as he couldn't really get anywhere near the goal, sliding across the area. The Bristol City corner is just about to come in. It looks like it's going to be from this right-hand side. Two hands go up in the air. Saints have pretty much every one of their players back in the box, and Mara is marking Viner. Cross does come in towards the far post, headed up into the air, and it is in the back of the net. Bristol City take the 2-goal advantage. It's Gardner Hickman who's running away in celebration. It might have been carried over the line by Taylor Harwood Bellis, but the Saints players look absolutely disheveled as they are 2-0 down, and they've got 18 minutes plus stoppage time left to go if they want to save the 26-game unbeaten run.
Jamie, I think I might be able to predict the future of what's just happened there. It's like I almost knew something was going to happen in that game. I wonder how that happens with delayed streams. But, you know, a couple of these games are really making the Champions League look really quite dull tonight. I'm really sorry you guys haven't had the best evening, have you?
No, to be fair, ever since you've come to me last, not much is going on. There's been one chance. Jeremy Doku on the left wing cuts in onto his favourite right foot, just outside the box, whips it, tries to whip it, top right. Grabara in the Copenhagen goal saves. There's been a couple of substitutions. Former Cardiff City striker Andreas Cornelius has come onto the pitch, as well as Oscar Højlund. Premier League fans will be more familiar with his brother Rasmus for Man United.
I didn't know they were brothers, actually.
Yeah, Oscar Højlund.
Fact for me.
He's come on for the Portuguese midfielder Diogo Gonçalves. But yeah, not much to report on here. Still 2-1 Manchester City.
No, and there doesn't seem to be much going on in your game, Ollie Price, either. West Brom still looks like they're 1-0 up against Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, maybe one of the boring games I've watched. Aaron Ramsey's finally come on. It's been crying out for him. He actually had a brilliant chance when the ball got fizzed across. He heads it, but he just heads it just wide. But still, West Brom Albion 1, Cardiff City 0.
You should have gone with maybe the likes of Norwich-Watford. Norwich are leading Watford 4-2 at the moment at Carrow Road. You know, even after that missed penalty, it looks like they're going to be taking this game pretty comfortably with only about 4 minutes plus extra time left. So, you know, Norwich 4-2 up against Watford still. And we're going to go back to Chloe Jones at Charlton Athletic now. Chloe, is there anything to update us on at the Valley?
So it is still Charlton Athletic 1, Lincoln City 1, but this game is getting intense and I'm not sure how it's going to end. There's been a lot of chances from both sides, especially from Charlton Athletic. They've been pushing and pushing. They've had multiple corners that have almost ended in a goal. It's been intense, but still it is 1-1 at the moment.
Yeah, if I just want to ask you a quick question, Chloe. If you had to choose a winner out of this match, I know it's 1-1 at the moment. It's looking pretty intense, like you said. Surely there's another goal in it. Who do you think is going to come out on top in the end?
I think if Charlton Athletic stay as dominant as they are at the moment, then I think there's a good chance it could end 2-1, 100%.
So there you have it. Chloe Jones predicting Charlton Athletic going to come up on top at the Valley over there. We're going to keep updated at full time, which is only minutes away. Going to run through some championship scores for you. Birmingham now 1 up against Blackburn Rovers. So John Eustace's old side are leading him at the moment. Leicester 2-0 up against Sheffield Wednesday pretty comfortably. Like I said, Norwich 4-2 up against Watford. It's Rotherham 1, Hull 2 now. So Hull have come back from a 1-0 deficit to now be winning 2-1 away to Rotherham. Swansea again, poor form, 4-0 down against Leeds. Only a few minutes left in that one. Bristol City 2, Southampton 0. West Brom 1, Cardiff 0. And we're going to move back over to our best friend this evening, quite honestly, Freddie Kilby. Freddie, what more is there to tell us? Surely there's been enough.
I can't believe, Lily, that Leyton Orient have not taken the lead in the dying minutes of the game here. Roel Sotirio was found in the middle of the box on his own with the ball, and he absolutely skied his effort. I cannot believe it. It should have been a goal. He'll be gutted about that, and so will Richie Wellens and the rest of his teammates. It is Leyton Orient 3, Northampton Town 3.
Freddie, it's clearly getting a little bit hot and intense over there. You've undone your coat by the looks of it.
Yeah, Millie, it's been absolutely intense over here, as you said. And there's 7 minutes additional time, so I think there'll be quite a bit more action here.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that update, Freddie. I'm still predicting there's going to be some more goals over there, but we'll have to wait and see. Crossing straight over now to Nathan Potter at the Lamex Stadium. Nathan, either side looking, have Stevenage equalised, have Bristol Rovers gone another up, or is it still 3-2 to the visitors?
It's still 3-2 here with 8 added minutes. It looks like Stevenage are the team pushing forward for this leveller to make it 3-3. But also, Matt Taylor, Bristol Rovers manager, has received a yellow card for, I'm guessing, dissent.
You're guessing dissent. Is there not much more you can tell us about that? You're only guessing dissent, are you, Nathan?
Wow, it looked like it to me, but nothing, not 100% sure.
Nothing too intense over there. Well, thank you very much, Nathan. It looks like that game might finish 3-2 over there at Stevenage. Crossing straight back over to Aldershot now in the National League, over at the EBB Stadium. Ben James, got any more to tell us in that fixture in the National League?
Thank you, Millie. Unfortunately, there's not been a lot of action in the last 20 minutes. It's still AFC Fylde 4, Aldershot Town 0. Like I said before, Fylde are just slow in the game. Oh, Fylde have just scored. It's 5-0. I was looking at the camera. Yeah, Fylde have just scored. Yeah, it's just, as you can tell, it's been a very poor night for Aldershot Town. I'm not exactly sure who the goal scorer is, but I'll get back to you as soon as I can with the name. It's AFC Fylde 5, Aldershot Town 0.
Goodness, a really poor evening for Aldershot fans. And it's also finished over here in the Championship, Leicester 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Guys, over there, it's really not looking like Leicester are going to be stopped this season in the Championship, especially with Southampton looking like losing 2-0 to Bristol City tonight, and Leicester obviously getting another 3 points. Can Leicester be stopped, does anyone think?
I was going to say, but as you heard me say before the game, I think Leicester could be caught. I don't think they're going to be caught now. Just absolutely poor from Southampton. Confirmation that it was actually Rob Dickey, the man who put the ball in the back of the net. Harwood Bellis tried his best to clear it on the line, but like the effort that Southampton are going to have to chase Leicester down now, it was just not good enough. And Russell Martin looks not like himself, you could say, as he looks a little bit worried for his team's performance today. 12 minutes left to go, but Leicester are just too good. Leeds are too good. They're up by 4-0, and Southampton look like the poorest side in the Championship tonight.
Oh, goodness. So that makes a change. That makes a change. Southampton quite often bottling places in leagues that we're used to seeing quite often. So you know, Leicester top of the Championship at the moment, and we're going to cross back over to the League One leaders now in the league below. Chance Cromwell is reporting on the game for us live. Chance, any update for us on that fixture?
Yeah, it's still 3-1 Portsmouth to Cambridge. The result seems more like a formality now. Unless Cambridge can nick a goal, now the game's probably out of reach. The goal scorer Kamara come off, so I think Portsmouth are just trying to ride the rest of the game out and get the 3 points. 3-1 Portsmouth.
Yeah, no, I imagine that's the kind of thing that Pompey do. As soon as they're comfortable, they like to shore up at the back and keep those 3 points secure to keep them flying high in League One. So Leicester's the only full-time scorer I can see at the moment. All the others still going into extra time at the moment. But there's also been some card issues over at Stevenage with Nathan Potter. Nathan, any more you can tell us about a possible red card over there?
It's a red card for Bristol Rovers midfielder Camille Conte. He seemed to stop the attack from Stevenage, bringing down Lewis Thompson, the number 23 for Stevenage, which seemed to be a dangerous counter. And they have a free kick from about 40 yards from goal with 3 minutes left to play here. It's whipped in and it's cleared.
Do you think that red card
Stevenage
could possibly... Sorry, Nathan. Do you think that red card could possibly affect the scoreline? Do you reckon Stevenage could get one back in those dying minutes?
Well, if anyone's to get a late goal, it looks to be Stevenage. But Josh Grant and John Marquis, former Pompey player, seem to be ready to come on for the gas when the ball next goes out of play. Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 3.
Thank you very much, Nathan. I see Jamie Oloshinsky giggling at the end of that panel over there. Jamie, what's going on?
You can look at the live blog on Solent Sports News right now, and a very funny picture of Nathan Potter has just come up on there.
Oh no, he doesn't know about this, does he? I bet he doesn't.
Of him smiling after Bristol Rovers' 3-2 victory so far. So Nathan, if you are listening, and everyone else, go check it out on Solent Sports News live blog.
Oh yeah, no, everyone please visit solentsportsnews.com for any live updates of any scores going on this evening and for your favourite match reports in the south. And we're going to cross back over to Freddie Kilby now, our best friend of the evening. Like I said, Freddie, any more gone on? Any more goals?
Oh my God, Millie, you would not believe it. Britain Road has just erupted behind me in the final minutes of the game, and it's a man again, Rule Satiri, within the second of the game. What a strike it was. Beat the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper had no chance, and nor did the Northampton Town defenders. It was absolutely nailed on goal. And what a game this has been. And it looks like a certain winner for the home side. It's Leyton Orient 4, Northampton Town 3.
Freddie, I really wish you could get back on the fast train home tonight so we could have a little chat about this at the pub, but it does sound like you need to have a little drink of water. Your voice is going to be gone after the end of the evening.
Just been such an action-packed game. All shouting from me whilst I try and beat the noise from this home crowd. It's a difficult job, but I'm getting there.
Freddie, please get back soon. We can have a little chat about it at the pub. Please make sure you have yourself a nice hot cup of tea or something as well to soothe your throat. Oh goodness, what an evening it's been for Freddie Kilby over at Brisbane Road. Also, it's looking like there could be some action over down your end, Jamie, maybe in a minute.
There was now. Stream isn't too delayed this time. It is Bristol City 3, Southampton 0. I didn't want to cut Freddie off by cheering, but it's two substitutes combining. Saints downfall yet again. They had the ball on the edge of the box, and Adam Armstrong, I think, has just lost the ball on the edge of the box. Bristol City have a counter-attack down the right side. McCrory.
Finally! Oh my God. Thank God.
Jamie, it looks like you're about to cry down there about this Southampton scoreline. If anyone should be crying about Southampton, I imagine it's me. Ollie Price, what's gone on? We've finally got another goal.
It is West Brom Albion 2, Cardiff City 0. Substitute number 17, Andres Weirman, the ball gets crossed into him, and it's the easiest finish you like. Could have missed it. It was hitting the roof of the net, but it's found its way in the back of the net. Finally a goal after, maybe you could say a dull affair, but I'm glad we got there in the end. I think it'll be West Brom. I think that's the finish. It'll finish that score 2-0.
Wow. Finally, we've had a little something for Ollie Price in the studio, but I imagine not much more over there for Freddie Dorman and Nathan Rawlings. Anything to report in the Champions League? Anything at all?
No, I've had an injury to Diaz. He's had to come off. It looks like a hamstring, which isn't good because he's come in to replace Bellingham.
Yeah.
So it looks like Lucas Vazquez is coming on to replace him. But that's not good for Real Madrid going forward. But they look rather comfortable in this game, to be honest. Still 1-0 up. Leipzig, they've had a few half chances, but nothing to shout home about, to be honest. But yeah, still Leipzig 0, Real Madrid 1.
No. Nathan, anything to update us on at all?
No, scoreline still the same. Copenhagen 1, Manchester City 2. Both sides have taken their goals. One of their goal scorers off. Bernardo Silva came off about 5 minutes ago, replaced by Mateus Nunes. And Copenhagen's goal scorer, Magnus Madsen, has come on for Henrik Larsson's son, Jordan Larsson. So hopefully, both sides will be hoping that those substitutions can make an impact on the game, but still 2-1.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can have a few more, goals, maybe a few more chances, even just chances, come on in those dying minutes of those games. It looks like everyone at our grounds today has had the full-time whistle blown. So we're going to go to Aldershot Town first to get a little full-time report from Ben James and Callum Gill.
Full time here, Millie. It finished Aldershot 0, AFC Ride 5. A result that Aldershot will want to put behind them quickly as they face Altrincham on the weekend. Time to knuckle their heads down and get back to the drawing board, because this was not a performance they will want to carry into the next fixture.
That is 3 wins on the bounce now for Fylde, who will slowly see themselves climb up the table after tonight. They climbed to 17th, which is obviously hopeful for their travelling support. They've just, in fact, signed a new manager, meaning that he's on the come up. You can see that they've won the game today. They've absolutely dominated out there today against a promotion-chasing side. So things are hopeful in the future for Fylde.
Well, thank you very much for that full-time over there at the EBB Stadium, lads. Thanks for going on down there and keeping us updated on that score. We're going to go over to Chance Chronic now, who's had full time at Fratton Park. Chance, how did it finish over there for Pompey?
Yes, 3-1 finishing at Fratton Park. Although it was quite a close game to start with Cambridge attacking, it was quite an end. Cambridge attacking, Pompey attacking. Later on in the game, in the second half, Pompey just ran away with it. But yeah, 3-1 full time. It shows how good a job John Messino's doing. When he took over last year, they were 15th place, and now they sit 6 points clear in first in League One. So yeah, 3-1.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Chance, tonight. Thank you for keeping us updated on Pompey against Cambridge in League One. And we're going to go straight to Nathan Potter now, who's been keeping us updated on Stevenage against Bristol Rovers in League One tonight as well. Nathan, have you got a little full-time report for us over there?
It's finished here. Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 3. It was Stevenage who found themselves 2-0 up on the 25th minute mark. But 3 goals from Luke Thomas, Chris Martin and Anthony Evans have turned it around for the Gas. The Gas says in full voice here at full time to the right of me, even with Camille Conte sending off in added time, it wasn't enough for Stevenage to turn it around and find a late leveller. It's full time here, Stevenage 2, Bristol Rovers 3.
A great result for Nathan Potter and the rest of the Bristol Rovers fans down at Stevenage tonight. So a good trip for Nathan Potter down there all round. And we're going to go straight to Chloe Jones now, who's been reporting at Charlton Athletic for us. Chloe, what's it look like at full time?
So at full time, it's Charlton Athletic 1, Lincoln City 1. Unfortunately, Charlton Athletic couldn't get any last minute goals in. The last minute was very intense. We had number 6 on Lincoln's side lose their boot. Then we had a Charlton free kick, but unfortunately, yeah, they couldn't make anything of it. And so it's ended here, Charlton Athletic 1, Lincoln City 1. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you very much, Chloe Jones, for going down to Charlton Athletic today to keep us updated on those scores. And we're going straight now to Freddie Kilby, the man of the night, the man with the most exciting game of the evening. Do you fancy giving us a little full-time report, Fred?
Yes, thank you, really. What a game it has been here at Brisbane Roads. I cannot tell you the roar that absolutely erupted from these home fans when that final whistle blew, followed by a chant of, oh, Ori, 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 Ori. But yeah, and rocking all over a world site and flaring out the tannoys. What a game it was. Very end-to-end, the whole game really. But that is displayed by the 7 goals in total in this match. And they're not just terrible goals or any box standard. They're all brilliant strikes, all into the corners. And what a game it has been here. Already even a fair, but it ends the 9th place team, or were 9th place team, have walked away with 3 points here. It was Leighton Orient 4, Northampton Town 3.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Freddie Kilby, for going down to Brisbane Road tonight for us and keeping updated on that really exciting League One fixture down there. Great job from all our reporters up and down the country tonight. And we're just going to do a final chat with our panel this evening and just check what's happening in the final minutes of these games. Probably not a lot, is my guess, Freddie.
No, I wish I was the other Freddie and had a 4-3, but I think Real Madrid, they're accepting that a 1-0 is probably the best they're going to get. It's the first leg, they don't need to risk too much, so they're sort of sat back now. Leipzig having a few, or trying to have a few opportunities. There's a few dark arts, maybe a few tactical fouls happening, but we're into the 90th minute now. There's not shown how much added time just yet. But I've got a feeling it's going to end 1-0 Real Madrid. Yeah,
and like you said, it was going to be played at Real Madrid next time round, so hopefully they can get a few more goals on their tally there next in the second leg of that round of 16 in the Champions League. Nathan Rawlings, any final thoughts on that Man City-Copenhagen clash?
Yeah, still 2-1 to Man City here with a couple of minutes to go of regulation time. It's been a fairly end-to-end, to be fair, although, as you do. Surprisingly, Erling Haaland does not really touch the ball all game. Copenhagen have marked him out of the game.
That was our main talking point before this entire game.
Yeah, we've cursed him. We put a curse on him.
We should never do one of these again.
You're right.
It's clearly cursed football entirely.
I mean, he's barely touched the ball. Bernardo Silva's come off now, as I said, so they're kind of lacking that slightly bit of creativity. It's been a pretty dull affair, to be honest, since that second half. Still, Copenhagen 1, Manchester City 2.
Wow, yeah, it looks like in those dying minutes, those Champions League games really haven't been the centre of our evening tonight, have they? Ollie, final thoughts on West Brom hosting Cardiff this evening?
Well, as I said, it's been quite a dull affair, but West Brom have actually turned it on in the last 4, 5 or 6 minutes. They've had like 3 shots on target, they've had balls across the box, and Cardiff don't really have an answer. But Cardiff now have the ball, they're just trying to keep it, trying to get forward, but I can see this ending 2-0, as I said. West Brom 2, Cardiff City 0.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for keeping an eye on that one for us tonight, Ollie Price. Jamie, we haven't got much long left. Could you give us a brief summary of what's gone on in that Southampton game tonight?
Well, we haven't got much long left, and I think Saints fans will be happy to hear that, as Ryan Fraser's just picked up a booking for slicing through substitute Dyer Mabude, the young Scotsman, coming on, making his first appearance for Bristol Rovers this season, which I think is the flex that Liam Manning wanted to do by bringing on a youngster onto the pitch. But Dyer, lacklustre, really not good enough from the side that should be fighting up there for even potentially the league title. Sam Bell, Rob Dickey and Harry Cornick with the 3 goals to sink Southampton. We've still got 5 minutes left to play a stoppage time, so I wouldn't rule out Bristol City being able to grab a 4th.
Yeah, sounds like Bristol City really got the better of Saints tonight in that Champions League clash. Well, that's all we have time for tonight, unfortunately. I've just got to say thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in and watched us keep you and kept up, and I hope we've kept you up to date well on all the scores this evening. You can check out more on our solentsportsnews.com website, as well as match reports, stories, as well as you like, and please follow us on all our social media to keep up to date with all your latest sports news. I've been Millie Payne, this has been my panel. Thank you very much for watching, and good night. Myself.